It is Thursday, January 15th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. We are coming off AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage last night, but the real news was kind of after the show with everything going on
Well,
in the
during
world.
the show and then after the show.
During the show and after the show. We'll get into that, of course. At 11 o'clock, we are scheduled to be joined by Anthony Greene of MLW. He's going to chat with us about the upcoming Battle Riot show. We're going to talk to him about Ring of Hallucinations, because last time he was on the show, we learned that he was a big EWR fan. So I know he's got a bunch of wacky ideas out there. So we're going to chat with Anthony Greene. You know, he did a spot with Pete and Pete. SP3?
Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah, I covered
That is one of the
this.
greatest. That is one of the greatest Nickelodeon TV shows of all time. Pete and Pete.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna say when you live in happily in rain. Yeah, I love.
I don't remember the theme song. I don't remember the theme song as well.
And then to do way. I don't know the words. I just know how the song melody goes. I just say random words to it.
So it was at Limitless Wrestling. It was in November. Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morano, Pete and Pete, they confronted, or Anthony Greene and Sydney Bacalbella confronted them. And, you know, things kind of got out of hand from there. So we are 100% going to talk about Pete and Pete.
Absolutely.
With Anthony
We're going to talk
Greene.
about Artie, the strongest man in the world.
We'll talk to Anthony Greene at 11 o'clock, and I'm sure we'll chat basketball.
We're just going to get into a whole 90s talk. I'm just going to talk about Nickelodeon shows like Carissa Explains It All and Wild and Crazy Kids and Salute Your Shorts.
Shorts, yep.
Hey Dude.
I want to know if he liked the games during the 90s, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts. Obviously, Nick Arcade, we're just gonna see how much 90s we can chat with
Figure it
Anthony
out.
Greene.
Figure it out. Like the list goes on.
Yep,
The list goes Double Dare. The list goes on and on. Like we can just have a whole hour talk about Nickelodeon in the 90s.
My coffee mug today is the Nick cartoons, so there you go. We're just gonna chat 90s Nickelodeon with Anthony Greene. Now that I've informed SP3 that he did a spot with Pete and Pete not too long ago. Yes, and there was also the announcement that Hechicero, Mascara Dorada, and Persephone all have dual contracts with AEW and CMLL, so we'll chat about that as well. Never a shortage of things to talk about on this show. SP3, how you doing?
I am doing well. I'm excited for today's show because there's a lot for us to discuss. It's not like I was on Tuesday where I was like, man, I have to talk about things twice. I'm happy to talk about things twice on today's show because I love free agency in professional wrestling. I love seeing people get new opportunities and go to places that are better suited for them and what they are able to contribute to the pro wrestling world. So I was very happy to see the news about the Rascalz now all elite. We're going to talk about that on today's show. I was even more ecstatic for Powerhouse Hobbs because I've had friends and myself that's talked to Hobbs, and he's such a good person, so humble in everything that he do and being this massive man that he is. But I've known for a while, pull back the curtain early on here, I've known for a while that Powerhouse Hobbs has had his eye on WWE. I've been informed, if anybody knows True Hill Heat, Chrissy Love, she was a part of chaperoning the wrestling club in New York City, and she's gotten to go backstage and speak to Powerhouse Hobbs, and she told me years ago that Hobbs kind of looks like he's interested in going to WWE. So I was very happy and excited to hear that news, and I feel like that's huge news for the wrestling world, for Hobbs, and hopefully WWE knows knows what they have. So we're going to talk about that on today's show. Maximum Carnage was a very good to great show of professional wrestling last night with a hell of a main event, a crazy brawl to kick off the show. Kenny Omega's back in the AEW World Title picture. It's exciting stuff, but most exciting of them all, outside of the dual contract, for my girl Persephone, who I've been such a big fan of. She is the CML talent. Like 2024, the CML talent that I fell in love with was Hechicero. 2025, I re-found my love for Mystico and the magic of the god of the Cathedral of Lucha Libre. But the new star that I discovered that I was like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of you now, is Persephone. So I'm so excited that she has a dual contract. Masquerada Dorada is one of the best high flyers. Excited for him. Hechicero officially now the dual contract. Great to see from him. So I'm excited to talk about that. And the most exciting news of them all, folks. Tonight, the premiere of TNA on AMC, and we ask the question, who the hell is going to be there now?
Well, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, AJ Styles,
Bully Ray,
the Iconics,
Perez Hilton,
the Iconics, the Elegance brand, Stax. Pretty sure Stax is going to be there. They announced another match. I don't remember what it was, but there's something else on this card, right?
Oh, Elijah and the Hardys versus
Elijah. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, the Hardys. Of course,
the Order versus Order 4.
Yeah, that's a match.
Who is TNA for? That's my question. Who is TNA really for? Because like looking at the card for tonight's show, it's like we're giving you the preview early. Looking at the card for tonight's show, it's like this company is mainly for, it seems like, lapsed AEW fans or lapsed WWE fans. I don't think it's really for TNA fans. I don't know about you, but the lineup just reads like, if you were a fan of 2010s, early 2020s WWE, or if you fell out of love with AEW after the Brawl Out, this is the show for you.
Well, we'll get into this in a second. First, this is going to be the ticker for today. We're going to see if we can pop Anthony Greene immediately off the bat. I have to censor it because otherwise we'll get demonetized. But fuck Pete and Pete is...
What? How dare you? How dare you?
We're gonna see if Anthony Greene notices that. No, that's the ticker.
You need to say fuck older Pete. Little Pete is all right. Little Pete is where it's at. Little Pete taught me how to win every single rock paper scissors matchup that I've ever been in.
All right, fuck older Pete. Little Pete is fine. Okay.
That's fine. Older Pete was a little eccentric for me. I didn't like him too much, but Little Pete is where it's at. Little Pete was the best character.
All right, that's going to be the ticker for today. We're gonna just see if Anthony Greene notices before we actually talk to him about the Pete and Pete spot. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Yes, if you're just now joining us and you're wondering what the Pete and Pete talk is for, as I mentioned, Anthony Greene at 11 o'clock is going to join us, and he did a spot with Pete and Pete at Limitless Wrestling in November. So that is why we are kind of referencing Pete and Pete here, and we're going to talk a lot of 90s Nickelodeon with Anthony Greene as well. So that's the reference for everybody if you're just jumping in here and like, why are these guys talking Pete and Pete on a Thursday? Well, why not, of course, but but there is actually a wrestling tie-in to do. Yeah, the legend Harlem's here.
Say hi to your friend.
Hello, I want an Xbox.
You want an Xbox?
She wants an Xbox. Nice.
You can't even play. You can't play Xbox. What are you talking about?
Xbox.
You want your ball or?
You play your games.
You want the ball? Here you go.
An Xbox game.
And you want an Xbox game?
What game is she playing?
When you turn like 10, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. She just randomly says these things. Yeah, there we go. We got Jake Rose says Xbox for Harlem.
Yeah. Donate to the Xbox for Harlem Fund, everybody.
This is a great comment by Vala. Harlem is the true legend of the Hidden Temple.
Fair. Didn't they try to reboot that? Or am I
Yeah,
just...
I think they did.
I feel like they try to reboot everything, so I feel like I'm not too far off base if I just say, didn't they try to reboot that? It's like, yeah, probably. Yeah. Most likely they did try to reboot that. I don't remember. I actually don't remember if they did, but everybody get Harlem an Xbox. She didn't say like she needs the One or the 360. You just get, the original Xbox. Yeah.
It's probably like $2 probably somewhere.
Well, I don't know. Those old school gaming systems cost a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, they're classics now, so it's like you got to actually spend some money on them.
It's like refurbished now. Refurbished.
Yeah. I had the 360. That was the only Xbox system that I had, and then I got red ringed of death, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That happened way too many times for me, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, I can't do it with the red ring of death from that. Otherwise, I've always been a PlayStation guy, and I only did the 360 because it came out like a year before the PlayStation. I was like, I can't wait that long for the new next gen system at the time. So I had to get the newest thing. Yeah, got red ringed. And then it went back to PlayStation because then they started coming out around the same time. I was like, well, I'm a PlayStation person, so
I peaked with PlayStation probably like PlayStation 2. I never got PlayStation 3. I thought about getting PlayStation 4,
PlayStation 3 PlayStation 2 was really good. PlayStation 3 was the shit though.
PlayStation 2 was the shit for me. Yeah. That was my everything for like a couple of years.
See, now I just play everything on like emulators on my computer, so now I don't have to worry about it. And people are saying just get the emulator. That's basically how I play everything nowadays. Like I have a PlayStation 5, I don't use it that often. The last time I legitimately played it was before Wrestle Kingdom, actually. Like, because I was waiting for Wrestle Kingdom to start, and I was like, I haven't played PlayStation in a while, so I played a 2K game, and that was it. And so yeah, that was 11 days ago since I played it, and before that, I can't remember the last time I played. I just don't have time to play video games anymore. I got too much work to do, too many kids to take care of.
Once I had twins, it was over. It was over for my gaming life.
Yeah, and just too many kids to take care of, too much work to do to sit down and actually play some video games. It's sad life that we live. SP3.
It's all right. We'll live.
Super chat here from Follow says those kids were so dumb. How do you mess up the Shrine of the Silver Monkey?
Man, I used to be so frustrated watching that show. And Guts. It was like, Guts, I would kill at Guts. Yeah. I would kill at Guts, especially in my heyday when I used to be in gym doing most of the stuff that I saw on Guts. Oh man, I would have killed.
It's like we can watch it and you could think like, oh yeah, I'd be great at this, and then once you actually get there, it's a whole different story. And we're watching this. I think we're probably a little bit older. I don't know. Maybe we're around the same age as those kids competing. But I'm sure I was definitely like, yeah, I do great at this. And then, once you actually get there, it's a whole different ball game. I'm sure there's like rules and everything that you can't do that you think you can do and whatnot. And then like once you actually like see all of how it works and stuff, I'm sure it's just totally different. I was on Universal Studios. I have a VHS of this somewhere. No idea.
You went there? I went there too. I went to Nickelodeon Studios at Universal, and my nephew, I think my nephew is like 4 years younger than me, and I think he was chosen to play one of the games, and he got slimed.
Yeah, same.
Highlight of my childhood.
Yeah, so I got chosen. I got chosen to do one of the games as well, and yeah, I got slimed. I don't remember what the game was. Again, there's a VHS because they tape it and then they like put it on the VHS. So we have the VHS of me getting slimed. I could not tell you where it's at. I'm sure it's in my parents' house somewhere, maybe. but I have it somewhere. I remember I was in, I guess it would have been middle school or something. First Fightful show, Jeremy reacts to the VHS. If I could find it, I would legitimately, like, I'd play it. I don't care. I would play it, and I'd somehow transfer it to digital. They do that stuff nowadays. I'd transfer it to digital. I'd play it on the show. That'd be fine. But I think it was I was too old. It wouldn't have been middle school. It was definitely elementary school. Like yeah, it had to be elementary school because I still lived in Virginia. And okay, so elementary school, like we went on vacation, then we got back from vacation, and then I told like my friends of like, oh yeah, I did this and everything, and they were like, oh, can we watch the tape? So like we actually watched this tape in class of me getting slimed. And like all the kids in the class like thought it was like the coolest thing ever that I got to like go on the Nickelodeon stage and get slimed and everything. I don't know, I guess, but if I can find the tape, folks, which I'm sure I can't. Well, you know what? Let's do an impromptu. Let's call my mom, and
there we go.
Let's get Mama Lambert on the show. See if she has a memory of any of this. And see what happens. All right.
Do you still have the tape of me getting slimed in elementary school?
The phone's not ringing for some reason.
Hey, this is Edie.
Just doxed my mom's name. Let's try to do that again.
All I heard was Mama Lambert. That's all I heard.
Hold on. It's not ringing. She's not doing anything.
She's probably on the phone talking about you.
She's not doing. All right, I'm gonna text her and tell her to call me when she gets a chance.
There we go.
I gotta tell her everything's fine because she's like, "What's wrong?" Call when you get a chance. Everything's fine.
You need to be a guest star on our show today.
Yeah, she's gotta hurry up though because we got a guest at 11. So
exactly.
She can't be calling when we're doing an interview.
Please call by 10:50. If not, call after 11:25.
Yeah. We can't be having her call. I mean, I guess she can call in during the interview. Like, yeah, want to talk to Anthony Greene? All right. TNA has announced that they have re-signed Nick Nemeth, or signed Nick Nemeth, however you want to.
Hey, I was literally messaging the True Hill Heat chat last night. I was like, TNA, fight back. You can't just take this. You can't just sit there and take this. And they're fighting back. They re-signed Nick Nemeth. And really, this is a re-signing to avoid WWE signing him like they did Matt Cardona.
Oh, there you go. Nick Nemeth will be there tonight. So, okay.
Another person who will be there. Unfortunately, there is a lot of people that won't be there. We know Jake Doyle on last week's Dynamite made his debut. There we go.
Mom's calling. Okay. Mom?
Yeah?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, hey. What am I doing on the air?
Well, I was telling everyone says hi. SP3 says hi. The chat is saying hi.
Hey, sweetie.
Hi. Hi, Mama Lambert.
SP3 said hi. Well,
Happy New Year.
SP3 said Happy New Year. It's January 15th. You can't say Happy New Year.
I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to her in the year 2026.
You have a great one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, everybody else. Hope y'all have a nice New Year's.
Mom,
what's up?
Mom, do you remember when we went to Universal Studios and I got put on stage at like the Nickelodeon thing? Yep. And I got slimed and everything?
Yep, I still got the tape.
Do you have the tape?
I do.
Do you know where it's at?
I think so.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to get it switched over to something where I can watch it.
To like digital or something? To digital?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can get it switched to digital and just like send me the file, that's fine. Otherwise, send me the tape and I'll get it like switched over to digital.
Then can you send it like back to me
somehow
to watch it?
Yeah, then I'm sure like I can send you like the file once it gets switched to digital.
I'll have to look for it. Matter of fact, you know what? I think I know where it is right now, but you know what I'm doing right now, don't you?
No, I don't know what you're doing. What do you know? Sleeping?
Well, I was playing my game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, I will send it to you.
Okay.
How's everybody else doing?
Everybody's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you check your oil?
What? Yeah. I didn't see anything.
Have you been checking it?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to have everybody get on you about that.
I'm sure. I'm getting a haircut today.
I'm literally gonna ask him every day if he checked his oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna trim my beard as well.
All right. Well, I'm
Looking kind of crazy there.
I'm
I
glad
agree.
you called.
Yeah.
You know I get excited when you call.
I know. Yes. Yeah, we were talking about, we were talking about Nickelodeon shows, and I was telling the story of being on stage at the Nickelodeon thing, and I was like, I know there's a tape, but I don't know if we still have it. So.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want me to send you? Want me to send you some baby pictures and stuff?
What? No. What? Stop. No.
Well, they might want to see you.
No. I have baby pictures.
All right.
No.
He was so damn cute.
Okay.
Smiled.
All right. All right. Good talk, Mom. Good talking to you.
SP3, I will talk to you then. How have you been?
I will talk to you soon.
I know I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can't.
Jamie don't want
Much
to talk
love.
to me no more, so.
No, he can't. Well, my mom asked how you've been, SP3.
I've been good.
He
Harlem
says he's been
hi.
good. Harlem, his daughter says hi.
Okay. I still want to see him again.
Well, he's in the UK right now.
I know. I know. I don't know why he's still over there.
Oh, he's got a life.
Well, we all do.
She
I
owns.
actually have one now, don't I?
Allegedly.
I do.
She
Yeah.
does. The best
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Send me the tape
All
if you
right.
find it, and we'll figure it all out.
Okay, I will. I love you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye. Love you, Mom.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Love you, Mama Lambert.
That's my mom for first-time viewers who do not know that sometimes we call my mom on this show.
That's what his dad owned. I don't know why he's staying over there.
Fair.
Big question.
I don't either.
Big question,
Yeah.
though. Big question. That's the big question of the day, Jeremy. Did you check your oil?
So my wife was also asking, well, what's wrong? Because she didn't know this story. Because like it's a non-story. So hopefully she's listening, and I will say this on air instead of messaging here. It's a non-story, but I went to, as people know, I went to visit my mom the other week, and this was before the new year, right? So this was before the new year. And then I drove all the way back and everything. And then like 2 days ago, she's like, I saw a spot in the driveway that I thought was an oil spot, and you were leaking oil. And I'm like, it's been, oh, she's listening. My mom's listening to this. So I'm about to bury this whole story.
This is awesome.
So I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. No, I don't think why would the oil spot still be like, it's probably rained there and everything, but I'm like, all right, I will check. Like, I don't see anything underneath like where I'm at, where I live, and like there's nothing there. So I don't think there's any leaking. I think they just.
So
Go
you're
ahead.
telling me we have our new poll question for the day. Has Jeremy checked his oil?
I have.
No. Yes, no. That was just rain. And then we can come up with a fourth option.
I got my oil changed before I went to Virginia as well. So if something happened, like it would have happened. I mean, they would have noticed that when I got it changed, I would assume. But yeah, it's been like 2 weeks, and I haven't seen anything. I would also, I mean, look, I'm not super up on cars, but I also drove like 400 miles from her place to back home. I feel like if I was like leaking oil for 400 miles, the car would have exploded and I'd be dead. Right?
Thankfully, you're not.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm super off base with that assumption. But I haven't seen anything. And I don't know. But my mom, like 2 weeks after I left, was like, I think you're leaking oil. I'm like, all right, well, then I've been leaking oil for 2 weeks, including a 400-mile drive. And that's probably not good. I have not seen anything. Mom, I've checked my oil. I don't notice. There are no spots on the ground. There's nothing. I don't know what to tell you. It's very possible that in the 2 weeks that I had been there, somebody else was leaking oil. It was just a random wet spot because it rained, I'm sure, in the 2 weeks since I've been there. Or who the hell knows? Who the hell
needs to be,
knows?
Did Jeremy check his oil? Yes, no, it was just rain, or all part of the show. It's all part of the show. Did you enjoy the show? All part of the show.
Yes, no, just rain. All part of the show. All right, there's a poll question for everybody. All right, am I off base with this oil stuff? Can someone who knows more about cars tell me? Like, am I off base about with all of this? Like, am I missing something?
We gotta have one mechanic or someone who's good with cars in the chat.
Yeah,
it's gotta be one person.
My dad's rolling over in his grave right now. He's like, I fucking tried to teach this kid everything about cars, and he does not know a simple oil check.
This guy's favorite movies is Fast and Furious, and he doesn't know how to check his damn oil.
They just drive in that movie. I mean, the first one, the first one, they're actually like fixing cars and everything. After that, they ain't doing shit with cars. They're worried about tanks and
they're putting in his space.
Yeah, they're worried about tanks and rocket ships by the 10th one. I feel like Louis would know as well. Louis he missed the SpongeBob shaw last year because he got like a flat tire and stuff. So I feel like Louis would know this stuff. I know how to pull the stick out and check it. I did that. Like there's nothing, like, it seems fine to me. It's not like low any lower than I feel it should be outside of since I just got it changed and everything. Like, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I'm like the worst person to talk to about this because I have this disease. It's called growing up in New York. So we don't really do driving. We don't really do driving.
Yeah, y'all don't drive there in New York. Do I need to do a live, like, go out and check my oil during this show?
You might as well do it tomorrow on tomorrow's show. It's not like you're gonna want to talk about the TNA Thursday Night Impact premiere. So you could do that. That could be a whole bit. You could just put in the description. Jeremy checks his oil.
All right, that's a tease for tomorrow, everybody.
I
will check my oil tomorrow. I'm not going to do it right now. One, it's snowed out, and I don't feel like going outside at this point. Two, all the kids are home because it was a snow day today, so I don't want to, get them. They'll see that, like, we're filming something, and they'll be like, I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show. Like, no, go away. So we're not doing that. Tomorrow, once they're all back in school, hopefully, I will. I'll check the snow, see if it's black. There, that's one way to do it as well. Well, it doesn't like fully work because I'm parked in my spot, so like snow doesn't get underneath the car. You know what I mean? Like it's still just. I've checked it. I don't see anything. I don't know. I don't see anything.
So yeah, I saw somebody, I think a Power Drive finisher, he says trips him out how I take a bus and train everywhere. I will be taking a bus and 2 trains to Wembley Arena tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.
That sounds terrible. You're going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm going to SmackDown. What are you talking about? That's not terrible. SmackDown in 2026? 2026 SmackDown is where it's at. It's like 2016 all over again. It's where it's at.
they got
Two
off
for
to
two. Two
they
for
got
two.
off- You know that means it's gonna be bad though tomorrow.
No, 2 for 2. No, 2 for 2. It's 2 for 2.
They can't go
So we're
3
going
for
3. Yep, they're going for the
can't go
trifecta. They're going 3 for 3, baby. We got Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn live in person. I'm
Is
gonna
that
be.
match happening? Oh
yeah.
yeah. It's the
qualifying
right.
match.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be meeting the Alex McCarthy and the McCarthy gang tomorrow. So it's gonna be good times.
Oh well, that's unfortunate that you got to hang out with McCarthy.
No, it's not unfortunate.
Nah, tell
Alex
McCarthy.
McCarthy, he's a good dear friend.
Nah,
Him
I love
and Sat are my UK friends, so I have a social life when I'm out here.
I like McCarthy despite our beef. Tell him to come on this show again. He's got
I
his new site and everything. Yeah. Like tell him
we'll try to plan it maybe for either Tuesday or Thursday next week.
Yeah,
I'll talk to him.
Okay, yeah, tell him to come on the show and so I can bury him and I can fight him.
I got him to agree to make at least appearance a month on True Hill Heat because he had such a great time the last time he was on the show last month. Okay. So he's coming back on later this month.
That's why he won't come on the show because he's such a terrible time because I bury him the entire time.
Yeah, because you're mean to him.
He'll think I like him if I'm nice to him. I don't want him to think that I actually like him. Gosh. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, that was kind of loud.
Kids are home, as I said, so they have no care that I'm doing a show. They're like, whatever.
Whatever, dude. You're always doing a show. You're gonna be doing one later.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care. They're like, oh, right, yeah, you do this thing called work, allegedly. I don't even think they know that like this is like I get paid to do this and like this is like technically work for me. Yeah. You know? Like I don't know what they think work is, but most people they assume like, oh, you go to work, you go to office, you do whatever. And then just like, I don't know, Jeremy just stays home all day and talks with his friends, and I guess he makes money off of that because we have a roof over our head and food on the table. Like, yeah,
talking about wrestling. Me personally, I don't think I don't think I consider it a job yet because I have too much fun doing it, and I think that my kids also realize that I don't consider it a job, so that's why they come in. They come in here more often when I'm on camera than when I'm just writing for a site. When I'm writing for a site, they leave me alone because they hear the typing. They're like, oh, I'm not gonna leave Dad alone. But if they hear me talking, they're like coming in here. Harlem's like, shut up, Dada, and good time.
Well, Harlem's a star. She knows she's a star too. She's like, oh, he's just writing. I can't get over with him just writing. No audience for that.
Spotlight. There's no audience.
Yeah, there's no audience for that. So why am I gonna burst in during that? No, I don't blame her. On that one. The kids like they know when I'm doing a show. Like they're not gonna like burst in here unless it's like important or whatever. But they like outside of here, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna keep playing around. If we're loud, whatever. Just deal with it. All right, let's catch up on some super chats here. I don't know what's happened this first 38 minutes into the show.
Talking so much.
Cyclops better than Wolverine says it's easy to say you'll kill it from your couch in reference to us saying we would do great in Guts and
I would kill it.
I'm
not sitting on my couch. I'm sitting on an all-in 2024 chair. That's what I'm sitting on.
I'm sitting in a beanbag chair back when I'm like 8-9 years old. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right, let's get into a little bit of the let's get into the Hechicero, Mascara Dorada, and Persephone signing dual contracts. One I thought Hechicero was already signed, but good for him. Mascara Dorada, that seemed pretty obvious. Persephone to me is kind of the biggest one, because I thought after the Mercedes match, I'm like, oh, Regal's calling, WWE's calling. She's getting an offer.
Who was it? Mark Henry, who was like, "Oh yeah, I love this girl. I love her. Like, she's amazing, and she would be great in WWE." I 100% was with you. I was like, "Oh, WWE's, they're gonna do what they did with Stephanie Vicaire, and they're totally gonna just grab up Persephone after that." She sold out. She sold out Arena Mexico for an all-women show in the main event with Mercedes Moné, and that was probably her best matchup. And then followed that up later in the year at the end of last year in December with that great match at Final Battle with Athena. She really got like broken out, and a lot of people kind of discovered her for the AEW ROH audience at ROH Supercard of Honor, when I felt like she was the highlight of that four-way match that Mina Shirakawa won to become the interim ROH Women's TV champion. And then she was also featured in the four-way at Forbidden Door with Bozilla, Alex Windsor, and Mercedes Moné for the TBS championship then as well. She is so good, because it's not a lot of times you see a girl that's that tall can hit the way that she hits. She lays her stuff in, and she's agile as hell. Her finishing move is the moonsault off the top that looks so violent, because she's usually bigger than her opponents in the ring, and she just lays it in, and she's agile. She's got that charisma, that charm. She connects with an audience very well. That was what I initially got when I saw her at ROH Supercard of Honor. She got this whole rivalry with La Catalina in CMLL as well. They were former tag team partners, and now they've been like feuding off and on over the last couple of years. So talented. I am so happy. That was the big one for me, where I was just like you said, I already thought Hechicero, we already got the reports that Hechicero was under a dual contract. I just think that this was Tony kind of like making it formal and giving the All Elite graphic, because he had two others that he was going to announce. And then Masquerade Dorada, I think most of us assumed that he was going to get a dual contract after being in the Continental Classic and also having a match of the year candidate last year at All Out with Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. And Persephone, yeah, that's the one that if AEW wants to focus on women for the future of the company, women that you can build around for the next 3 to 5 years, Persephone should be in that conversation, because she is a bona fide star.
I don't think she'll be a big impact player in the next like 6 months or anything. I think AEW is still sort of fleshing things out there, and I think they probably have at least a general idea of what they're doing for the next few months, and I don't know where she's going to fit with all of that. But by the end of this year, and I realize that's more than 6 months, but I would say by the end of this year, I would have her factored in to like the weekly television stuff, whether it doesn't have to be a title picture, it doesn't have to be TBS or a world title. They have the tag titles as well. I don't know who she could potentially team with, but I would have her factored in somewhere, because she's great. And like I said, I thought WWE was going to scoop her up after the Mercedes match and everything. I'm glad that she's staying with CMLL and AEW, and hopefully they have her factored in to some stuff. It might be a little difficult with the CMLL stuff, because for the most part, with the people who have kind of the dual contracts, like outside of Bandito, most of them are just like they're kind of utility players, right? Like Dorada came into the C2 and had a great showing, but otherwise isn't like in sort of main programs. He's just a guy who's there and puts on really great matches, but there's no like substantial feuds with him. Hechicero, kind of the same. He's part of the Don Callis family, but he's on the lower tier of the Don Callis family. Beast Mortos, I don't know if he has a dual contract, but he's doing a lot of CMLL stuff. He's another guy who he's there and he has good matches, but LFI does a little bit on ROH, but there's no like substantial program for Beast Mortos.
The biggest and most prominent star who has like a dual or Tress contract is Konosuke Takeshita. That's the only guy that they kind of put in prominent storylines, because he spends most of his American time in AEW.
Right. I was just thinking of the CMLL people, and that's why Takeshita didn't come up, because he's New Japan and DDT. Yeah, but the CMLL people, for the most part, they're just kind of utility guys who they bring in, they have good matches with, they fit them into like story beats, but they aren't the focus of the story. I would have Persephone focused in on stuff, assuming that's what she wants to do, because maybe she wants to do more in Mexico and she wants to make the base in Mexico and doesn't want to like fully commit to like the US travel and everything, which that's completely within her right as well. So we'll see, but I do like that they got her, because I think I think she has a very bright future.
And this confirms my belief that she is going to be the one who dethrones Mercedes Moné for the CMLL World Women's Championship. Because that matchup, like, go out of your way. If you didn't watch that matchup last year, it doesn't matter if the year is over. Go back and watch that matchup from Arena Mexico. That's one of the best performances I've seen against Mercedes. One of the best matches I've seen from Mercedes in general since leaving WWE was that matchup with Persephone in Arena Mexico. And that was really kind of a star-making performance for her, where everybody and their mama coming out of that matchup was like, yeah, she's going to be the one that needs to dethrone Mercedes. She came close here, but she's going to get a rematch, and she should be the one who dethrones Mercedes for the CMLL World Women's Championship. And now that she's under contract with AEW, Tony Khan won't like have any pushback against that, because it's one of his people that's going to be beating his top star of the women's division.
Yeah, that's a good call that she's going to beat Mercedes for that title. I don't know who else they have that makes sense
there's Olympia and La Catalina. That would be like the two others that are like prominently used, but La Catalina was mostly used for like guest star appearances in AEW and ROH. Like she had the matchup with Athena. I think she had a shot at the TV title with Red Velvet in the past, but nothing like prominent with her. So I think that it's best you put it on Persephone. You could do the feud with La Catalina. You could do a feud with Olympia, who now has experience over in Stardom over the last couple of months. So yeah, that works. I like this move. This is a positive move for AEW, because I said it on Twitter yesterday when the news came out after the show. I was like, this is how the dominoes work. Like, AEW is getting 4 guys in one shot with the Rascalz. They're getting 3 dual contracts going on. There was going to be some people that leave out. We had the announcement last week with Matt Taven and Alex Abrahantes and Mercedes Martinez, their contract expiring. There's a bunch of other people who either deals are coming up or should be coming up in the next coming weeks and months that are going to probably be leaving the company. That's how it kind of works with AEW. They let the contract expire. They sign some new people to replenish the roster, but they're off to a good start with 2026, because they had to do something to kind of match 2024, where they got Kazuchika Okada and they got Will Ospreay as like the premier signings, and Mercedes Moné as like those 3 main signings for that era. And then they had 2025, where they got a lot of people for like the mid card to upper mid card with Megan Bayne and Jet Speed and Tekla and Josh Alexander. So they had to keep up with that in 2026, and I think they're off to a good start.
I have an update. Hold on, let's see if I can share this. Okay, I don't know. All right, sorry. Okay, I know how to do it. I'll get in a second. They are off to a good start with the people they have signed. They did lose Hobbs, and we'll get into Hobbs here later on, because we have Anthony Greene. If you're just tuning in, Anthony Greene's going to join us at 11 o'clock. And so we don't want to dive too much into the Powerhouse Hobbs situation. I do want to hit on this basketball note from Shams. No trade or anything yet, but I'll hit on that in a second. I have an update on the video. It has been acquired and found. Here is, if this thing will upload, here is the photo of the box from the video. So there we go, everybody. Mega Messamania is what this thing was called. This was the live show.
Mega Mesomania. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so that was the show that I was on, and my mom's gonna send me that. I'll get it digitized, and I'll play the clip on air once we have it. So there you go, everybody. All right. From Shams, Jonathan Kuminga has requested a trade from the Golden State Warriors. I feel like he requested a trade like 2 years ago.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he's demanded a trade.
Oh,
All right.
now he's
I guess
demanded.
yeah,
The
I guess
verbiage
that's a
is
little bit
different.
Yeah. Demanded a trade from the Warriors. He's eligible to be traded today. I don't know why they didn't trade him in the offseason. Like, it was very clear that this was not going to work. And for some reason, they kept him. They tried to make it work. He was in the starting lineup to start the season. And now he doesn't get any minutes because he just doesn't play. He doesn't fill the role. I don't think Kuminga's a bad player. But he just clearly doesn't fill the role the Warriors want him to fill. Like they
Specifically
want him.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr don't like Jonathan Kuminga. That's what it really comes down to. He has an issue with Jonathan Kuminga. He probably didn't want to draft Jonathan Kuminga. He just has like a personal vendetta, it seems, against him in some way.
Yeah, Louis saying Kerr hates him. There's definitely a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect between Kerr and Kuminga. I don't think that Kuminga plays the way Steve Kerr wants him to play, and because of that, Kerr benches him. Yeah, I think he can be a good player just on a different team and a different system. The problem is they've completely tanked any value he has, so I don't know what you're actually getting for him at this point, because who's giving up anything for a guy who can't get minutes on a Warriors team that is kind of mediocre? You're telling me you can't get minutes for this guy? How good is he really? Why am I going to give up multiple first round picks or a young player or something like that when he can't even play for your mediocre team? I'm giving up like a second and a veteran and I think
they can get a first for Kuminga. He's young.
They couldn't get a first for Trae Young.
Yeah, that's what I am saying. That Kuminga,
Luka Doncic couldn't get a first.
Well, that's because Nico Harrison probably hated Luka Doncic as much as Steve Kerr hates Jonathan Kuminga.
I mean, I think they'll like hold out hope for a first. I just don't know if you're gonna get a first for him. And it's their own fault if they don't get a first, because they've tanked. Not the front office. I mean, it's not their decision to play him or not, but like they've tanked his value to where if I'm another team, I'm not giving up a first. Why should I? He's a young player. I think he has talent and tools to where he can be successful on a team, but is it going to be on a good team? You know, can he go to let's say not that I don't know about the Knicks, but like could he go to the Knicks and like fit in there and be successful? I don't know.
They don't have a lot of wings like him that can get buckets like that. Maybe I would say my prediction: Jonathan Kuminga for Anthony Davis.
The Mavericks would be stupid to make that trade, but sure.
Yeah, Dallas would be stupid because they would ask for a draft pick. I know they would be smart enough to now be like, no, we need a draft pick for this guy. We didn't need one for Luka, but we'll take one for this guy who's got a hand injury that needs a second opinion.
I assume he's going to Sacramento because Sacramento's been long linked to him. I think in the offseason, they would have gotten a much better deal, because I don't know what Sacramento's giving up. Is it Keon Ellis? You gonna give up? Jay Girl's saying for a lot of protection and Carter and maybe like there's just
I could say that.
is he gonna thrive in Sacramento? You know,
No, absolutely.
like next to
It's
next to
Sacramento.
Levine.
This
next
is
to
Sacramento
Levine and
Kings.
DeRozan. Our guest is here.
don't
If
think-
he's ready, give me a thumbs up. I think he's still setting up his camera. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, folks. He's been on the show before. We're excited to welcome him back. He is part of MLW. His announcement regarding MLW and their show on January 29th. Excited to bring back onto the show the one, the only Anthony Greene. Anthony, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
It's been like a year almost.
Has it been
Think
that
so.
long?
I think
Yeah, I
maybe
think
like
so.
late March, early April last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My memory's terrible, so
Time flies. Last time
Yeah,
we talked a lot about MLW, and I think we talked about EWR.
So this
Yes,
is
yes.
that's why you were one of my favorite guests from last year, because we were talking about EWR before we brought you on, and you're like, yeah, I love EWR. I was like, great, this is the whole interview now, EWR. So I was very excited to have you back. I was like, yeah, we'd love to have Anthony back on. We're just going to chat about EWR. I hope that's okay, Sean.
It's all we got to talk about.
Yeah. How you been? How has the last year been going for you? And I do hear you have an announcement regarding the MLW show coming up.
I mean, the year has been really good, or last year was really good. I think the last time we spoke was right when I ended up leaving Pro Wrestling Noah. But other international opportunities have come up since then. I have now recently wrestled in India for the first time, with plans on going back. But yes, I do have some important news regarding January 29th, where last year I made my MLW debut at the Battle Riot, which was for the MLW World Heavyweight title. And once again, this year, Anthony Greene is coming back, but this time it'll be in Orlando, Florida. And I am entering the Battle Riot once again, this time with the plan on winning it.
How do you plan on winning it?
Well, the idea is I throw everyone over the top rope, both their feet touch the floor, and at the end, the referee gets in the ring and raises my hands.
It's always a good plan.
Yeah,
you can pin people. You can pin people.
Yeah,
in
you
this,
can pin
though.
them too.
Hey, you could submit them. You don't have to throw everybody over the top rope.
Yeah, I don't see myself pinning Donovan Dijak, but I could throw his dumb ass over the top. No, but in all seriousness, last year was a trying year for me. Like, I thought a lot about my career. I'm not sure if you guys saw my new video, Is This It? Where in the next 365 days, starting on January 1st, during this whole trial period, I'm going to decide, is this what I want to continue doing? Whether that be for MLW, for another wrestling company, stay on the independents, try to go overseas. And I think entering the Battle Riot once again and possibly winning the Battle Riot would be a good starting point on whether or not this is what I want to continue doing.
So you have so much like experience in the wrestling game, like you talked before about all the places you've been. What are you trying to like get out of this year to kind of make that decision for the rest of your career?
I mean, so there's a bunch of options. There's get a contract, there's quit, or there's fall back in love with professional wrestling. And I think out of those three, I think the third one is the most important to me. Which is why on this journey, I want the fans, I want my, my friends, my family to kind of see it all happen in real time and watch me kind of reach those goals that I've never done. Winning major championships, wrestling overseas, maybe adding new, states or new countries I've never wrestled in, just kind of add to that bucket list. I said it in that video that I've always loved professional wrestling, but I felt like over the past few years, it hasn't loved me back. And this year, 2026, I'm hoping to kind of find that love once again.
Are there any countries on the bucket list that you mentioned you want to go to? Do you have any kind of pinpointed?
Yes, I would love to wrestle more in like the Europe, UK region. I would love to wrestle in Ireland. I've never been to Ireland, and I've never wrestled in Scotland. Those are probably the big two. If I had to add a third, it would be France, but mostly because I just want to go to Disneyland Paris. Add another Disney to the list. But those would probably be like my top three. Mostly Europe. There's not much more wrestling I feel like I could do in Asia. Maybe I'm wrong. Australia would also be a really cool one for me. But I've hit Japan, I've hit India. I feel like those are two incredibly cool places. I don't know what the wrestling scene looks like in China or in Thailand really, but definitely more European stuff this upcoming year.
And you've told us before how you love to like travel. What is the thing about wrestling that you love the most? What got this love for professional wrestling that has brought you into the business for all these years?
Honestly, there's two answers. One, it has to be the opportunity of winning the MLW Battle Riot. No, but in all seriousness, I've always been a fan of professional wrestling. Like since I could remember. I remember getting those WCW not Galoob, the ones that are kind of like the LJNs, the San Francisco Toy Company, the ones that Jimmy Hart, Sergeant Craig Pittman, Hogan, Vader, getting those figures and just playing with them and booking my own shows like EWR for hours on end, just nonstop putting matches together. But it probably wasn't until I watched the first season of Tough Enough where I was like, oh, like, and mind you, I'm like 7 years old or 8 years old when that came out. In my head, I'm like, this guy, Maven Huffman, went from being a school teacher and then in however many weeks turned into a WWF superstar. Like, I could do that too. And then from there on out, just seeing, that was my first bit of ever seeing like professional training done. And then from then on out, I was like, oh yeah, I can pursue this at some point.
I wanna switch gears a little bit. We talked about EWR last time. In the similar motion vein of EWR, SP3 and myself and Joel, we have this promotion. It's a real fake promotion. It's called Ring of Hallucinations. We advocate for murder. We advocate, as you might guess, for kind of drugs. There's no real championships or anything. Very outside the box ideas, kind of anything goes here. We have a lot of MLW talent under contract. Court Bauer, we're in talks with him to actually do some co-promoting with Court. So he knows about us. Any idea? Nothing's off limits here, Anthony. Do you have any type of pitch for Ring of Hallucinations? Would you want to join us as well? But do you have any type of pitch for the promotion?
Ooh.
Nothing's off limits. We have sharks coming out of the ring. We have a first man standing match where everybody takes a bunch of drugs and then whoever wakes up first and gets to their feet is the winner of the match. We have blindfold matches where the crowd gets blindfolded and they just have to react to what they hear in the ring. Nothing's off limits here.
Okay. My first thought, because of the ROH kind of letters, I feel like you need to have a show you need a show called Death Before Hallucination.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. I like that.
Like that.
And I don't know if I have my own idea, but I would like to suggest an idea from a previous real wrestling company. That company was called ESW, Extremely Strange Wrestling.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And they did a blade on a tag rope match where the rules of the match are, it's a singles match where anytime an opponent has the advantage, they have to walk themselves over to the tag rope and blade themselves.
So like you knock the other person down or whatever, and then you have to go over?
Hey, Jeremy, I give you a body slam.
Yeah.
I walk over and I start gigging myself. And then I come beat you up some more with the opportunity in hopes. I hope I can go back over to that rope and do it again.
So
and there's only one blade. So we're
Oh, there's
sharing.
only one blade. Oh, no.
Oh no.
I feel like that's going to end poorly. We love it. I mean, we want everything to end poorly. So I'm all about this idea.
So yeah, that's my idea. I don't know if that pay-per-view is still on. Every once in a while, it'll pop up on YouTube. It's called Extremely Strange Wrestling Human Cockfighting. It's I can't go into more detail. We might get like pulled off the air if I'll set that. It's
Sharon
insane.
Blades.
All right, I'm gonna have to look this up. This sounds very much up our alley.
Are you guys familiar with? He's a ring announcer named Ron Head.
No.
So he used to ring announce for OVW, like maybe in like the late 2000s,
Okay.
like post WWE stuff, and then he used to ring announce for XPW. But he is the promoter and producer for Extremely Strange Wrestling.
All right, I'm gonna have to look this man up, and I'm gonna try to get him on this show because I need to know more about this. What an idea! Oh, that's really good.
He was also the guy known for. He was the one recording Jim Cornette in the famous Dairy Queen drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try to get him on this show. I love the idea, Anthony. We do decapitation as well, so I thought that's where you were maybe going with the blade. We pitched Akira Kwan was on the show on Tuesday, sorry, and he talked about like collecting like lucha masks and everything. We said, well, just collect heads. Like we'll just decapitate Mystico, and you can just walk around with his head instead of his entire mask. You know? Yeah. So that's what we're about in Ring of Hallucinations. And Court Bauer's all about it. Court's talked about bringing in alligators for a show. So,
oh gosh,
yeah. You know, I mean, look, they do some crazy stuff in MLW. Sometimes they're throwing people off buildings at the very least. Kroll's trying to murder people. I feel like every single show. So,
I think he's a legitimate murderer. I think the MLW World Champion is a serial killer.
I don't know if we can put that out there. That might get him in some real trouble.
What a news headline.
Yeah, I write the headlines around here, Anthony. So you say these things and you're gonna get yourself in trouble with me writing these things.
I needed to ask about something Jeremy told me before you came on the show, and I don't know if you've noticed our ticker at the bottom here is referencing it. You got into a confrontation with the legendary Pete and Pete. You have to tell me how this went down, and of course, you have to tell me if you watched Pete and Pete and how in love with the show you were as a kid.
Okay, so full transparency, I think Adventures of Pete and Pete came out like either when I was born or maybe a little before. But I would watch reruns of Adventures of Pete and Pete, and we all know the iconic song "Hey Sandy," which Chuck Taylor used to use as his independent wrestling theme song, actually. So this was a Limitless Wrestling show at a Comic-Con in Bangor, Maine. And I wanted to meet Danny Tamborelli because I was a huge fan of All That.
Nice.
So I'm like, we got to figure out, can we get him to do something on the show? Can we get Danny Tamborelli on like to do a spot in the ring or whatever? And the first day I asked the event coordinator if I could meet Danny Tamborelli, and I got a picture with him, and he's like, oh, I saw you on the screen, because they had like a big LED screen showing the pro wrestling. He goes, oh, that was really cool. And I just like jokingly go, oh, if you want to do anything tomorrow at the show, let me know. Because it was like a 3-day convention with 4 wrestling events. He like kind of like, oh, maybe, I'm not sure. Like, well, we'll see. But then in our photo, he puts himself in a headlock. I'm like, oh, maybe he wants to do this. I don't know. The next day, maybe before the first show, there's like an 11 o'clock show, 11 a.m. show, and a 4 p.m. show. Maybe before the 11, the promoter for Limitless Wrestling comes up to me and goes, your boys are interested. They want to do something on the show. So I rush over to their table, and Michael C. Marone is there. And I start talking to him. He's like, yeah, maybe we could do something later. Come find us when me and Danny are both here. We could put it all together. We can do something. I go, great. I wait for the first show to end. I come back. I kind of cue them up on how, like, listen, we understand you probably don't want to be hit. We can keep the physicality to the minimum. You guys don't even have to touch us if you don't want to. Let's just have this cool interaction that can be on camera. Like, let's do something. And then we suggested my manager wears a wig. He will not say it's a wig. He thinks it's his real hair, but Sidney Bacuello does wear a toupee. So we're like, you guys can just rip off the toupee. There can be a big thing. And then finally I suggested, hey, Mike, what if you give me a clothesline? And he's like, yeah, what do I got to do? And I show him. And then when we go over it, it's now happening. We do this back and forth promo. Shout out to my friend Lumberjake, who came up with the line "Adventures of Week in Week." Yeah. So, yeah. So we do it, and then it's time for the clothesline. But Michael Morona is just talking on the microphone everywhere, but at me. And then jokes on me, egg in my face. It's because he's a creative, like, comedic genius and has like great timing. The second I run towards him, he's not even looking at me, and he just like sticks up his arm. I'm like,
it was so good.
Rules.
It was very much straight out of the 90s where he's looking in all different directions and like not even paying attention to you, and all of a sudden next thing you know his arm's out and you're down and you don't see it coming. It's very good. I also loved Sidney being like, I grew up on the real Nickelodeon Big Time Rush and Naked Brothers fan.
No, that was my idea.
That was yours. Oh, nice.
Nice.
What was I gonna mention? Oh, and then at the end he says, Mike Morona says this great line because Danny Tamborelli's like, "Oh, did you even see that coming?" He goes, "I didn't. Must have happened in the speed of Pete."
Big pop.
It was a very good, very funny segment. I remember seeing it on your socials after it happened. I was like, "This is one of the coolest things ever."
It was like my goal. That was my goal of the weekend, was to get Danny Tamborelli in the ring, and then instead I got both of them. So
that's magic. And we put the ticker, especially that F older Pete, little Pete is okay. So you're obviously a little Pete fan, Danny Tamborelli. Yeah.
Fuck older Pete. We don't care about him. Go ahead, SP3.
But on that note, you said you're a fan of him from all that. What is your top 3 favorite Nickelodeon shows from the 90s?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Number 1 has to be Afraid of the Dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
That's got to be number 1. All that probably close second. Probably up until like the 2004 series where they added like Jamie Lynn Spears. And then, what's my third favorite? Got to be Keenan and Kel.
Oh, there we go.
You were a Snick fan. That's the Snick lineup. That's my lineup from my childhood.
The Snick lineup ruled. Like when they added the Nick Cannon show, Cousin Skeeter. Yes. I could go on for days.
Cousin Skeeter, let's go.
No one talks about Cousin Skeeter. Also, no one talks about the Romeo show.
Oh yeah,
that was like 2002-ish, 2003. But the Romeo show ruled.
This is when we were actually liked Romeo. This is good. Yeah, good time.
What about cartoon stuff when it comes to Nickelodeon? My mug here is a lot of Rugrats, Hey Arnold, some Ren and Stimpy, everything.
I'm like that weird era where it's like I liked Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents. I liked Rugrats, of course. I wasn't a huge Ren and Stimpy fan. Angry Beavers was okay. I don't think Angry Beavers get enough love.
Agreed.
Fair.
Those are probably the biggest one. And at some point, I kind of crossed over to being like a Disney kid.
Okay.
Yeah. Disney Channel original movies was kind of my thing.
Oh.
So what's some of your favorites Disney Channel movies?
Don't Look Under the Bed. Phantom of the Metroplex. Brink.
Hell yeah.
You said it. Yes. That's the key word.
That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT Disney movie right there.
Those are probably the top three for me. But then you get there's other good ones. There's like Full Court Press, Dream Team, Motocrossed, where they actually make a SmackDown in that one.
Yes. Up and Away. I remember that one.
Oh, Up
That
and
was one of my-
Away was legendary.
Yes.
I always thought that the bad guy's girlfriend in Up and Away looked just like Stephanie McMahon.
You know what? I think you're onto something. Yes.
Look
I
it up.
remember that.
Look it up. Yeah. And then also that guy, the bad guy in that movie, turns out to be E from Entourage.
You're right. Yes.
Oh,
Because
yeah, okay.
I only remembered E from Unhappily Ever After on the WB. On the WB, that was when I first discovered him, and then when he became E on Entourage. But you're right, he was in that movie as well. Yeah.
I froze that for a second. All right, so E. Wait, what was E in? From
Up
Entourage?
and Away.
Up and Away.
Oh, he was in Up and Away. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. All right. I'm gonna try to transition back to wrestling here. Let's say you just want to keep talking television with us.
We can talk about whatever you want.
We're more than happy. Do you watch any trash reality television, Anthony?
Actually, yeah. My girlfriend recently got me on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Yes. I think my missus watches that. Yes.
Big Taylor fan. Shout out Taylor.
We're huge fans of the trash reality television. We like the Love Is Blind. The Challenge is a big one. A lot of the Netflix stuff.
I've been watching the brand new season of Mr. Beast Games because I have a friend on there, actually. He is a professional wrestler on the show. He is Nick, but he wrestles under the name Conan Lycan. If you guys haven't seen Conan Lycan, highly suggest you check him out. He's like 6'3", he's like 260 pounds doing springboard 450s. Yeah.
We'll have to check him out and look for him on Mr. Beast Games as well.
Yeah.
He's still on there. They just aired episode 4 last night, and he's still in the running. He was actually on their version of Survivor, and he was up to win a $1.8 million private island. I won't spoil if he won it or not, but I will say he was in the final 5 for winning it.
Okay. All right. He's doing well for himself.
Yeah.
So what do you kind of look for in like watching TV, like with the miss, whether it be with the misses or on your own? Like what kind of shows do you get interested in?
So I like sitcom TV, like The Office. I'm currently watching through Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, hell yeah.
Amazing show.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Jack Morris and LJ Cleary got me hooked on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So that's probably it. Other than that, I watch mostly just pro wrestling. I'm watching obviously Mr. Beast Games for a friend of mine that's on the show. And then when it comes to watching like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it's mostly because that's what my girlfriend puts on, and I don't have much of a choice. Yeah, but I watch mostly a lot of wrestling, and now, like, you know, between all the streaming services and everything that's free on YouTube at this point, like, I have endless pro wrestling to watch. The fact that all my wrestling DVDs downstairs are completely useless.
Maybe not for long, because now they're taking so much content off of the various platforms, depending on what DVDs you have, obviously. Yeah. But like if you got like old WWE DVDs and stuff, like who knows where you're gonna find this stuff at this point. I do want to mention something on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I rewatched the show last year. I did like a full rundown. And they were coming up with ideas. I don't know if you saw Ava tweet of like, oh, give me great ideas for how to do the NXT championship to crown champ. And then of course they just did a ladder match, because they always do ladder matches. I was like, do a heist. Someone steals the title, and whoever has the championship at the end of, you know, whatever day, that's who the champion is. So I booked this whole like Halloween heist thing for the NXT championship. This is something we can use in Ring of Hallucinations, but we need more heist in wrestling. I think
Halloween hallucination heist.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. The Triple H.
The Triple A, we might get sued. That might actually not work.
Can we add one more H?
Yeah, what can we throw? What can we throw? We'll just put hallucinations twice. The hallucinating Halloween hallucinations heist.
Yes.
We'll do the quadruple H. Yeah, that way we don't get hit with any copyrights or anything. What type of wrestling are you watching? Do you like to go back and watch the kind of older stuff? Do you keep up with what's going on nowadays? What kind of stuff do you pop into the DVD player?
I do keep up with current wrestling, of course, but I watch most of my current wrestling on X. I like older wrestling. The other night I fell asleep to In Your House 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to watch Jeff Jarrett versus Shawn Michaels. So,
Yes. One of my favorite matches growing up.
Yeah, literally it's one of my probably top 3 favorite matches of all time. But yeah, just really anything. Like sometimes I'm in the mood to watch ECW. Sometimes I want to watch an old indie wrestling show on IWTV, and I'll throw on a 2006 CZW show for some reason. I'll throw on an MLW show here and there. They have a lot of their stuff on YouTube now as well. Whatever I'm really in the mood for, it's such a mixed bag. Maybe I want to throw on an old Pro Wrestling Noah show or just an old Noah match. Like probably for me, it's like early 2000s indie wrestling. Like maybe it could be anywhere between 95 and like 2010 WWE. Really, and then TNA, like 03, 04 TNA is like my year. Like I still want them in the asylum in Nashville. Like that's how I want my TNA. I want Jeff Jarrett with the world title, for 5 runs in like 3 months. I want the King of the Mountain.
How upset?
I want to see Sonny Siaki.
Sonny, don't look at my ass, Siaki. Yes, I remember him very well.
was that a Marky D 1-2
yes
reference?
Yes, yeah. Anytime I hear Sonny Siaki's name, I think of Marky D. Shout out to him. I was gonna say, or how upset were you when Jeff Jarrett retained the TNA World Championship or NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against Raven in 2003?
When he retained?
Yeah, the first time Raven got a shot, I remember everybody and their mama at the time was upset over that.
Yeah, so I was thinking when he took the belt back on like that random like indie show,
Yes.
which was so weird why they did that. I own that DVD. It's called like International Invasion or something like that, or International Incident. And on that show, America's Most Wanted are heels because the show's in Canada. So Team Canada are the baby faces, but they end up helping Jeff Jarrett win the belt back from Raven. But that's how they debuted them as heels in TNA. They showed that footage and they're like, oh, America's Most Wanted turned on Raven. Like, no, they were already heels on that show, but you wouldn't know that unless you owned the DVD. I'm probably one of like 36 people that own it.
I'll tell you what I know. Anthony Greene is alive and well.
I am alive and well.
Did Sean freeze?
Sean's frozen. Usually it's me.
Horrible. What? Sorry, am I freezing up?
Yes, you're freezing.
Okay.
You come in, interrupt the interview.
I get online last week and I see my friend Anthony Greene on this pamphlet looking like he had just died. And my heart jumped through my chest. I was like, not Anthony, not Anthony, like that. And then I'm like, I see seminar, and I'm like, well, that's also cool. That's very cool.
Good sales tactic.
It was an incredible sales tactic. First off, incredible sales tactic. But I just want you to know, if you died, I would be very sad.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I just want to be abundantly clear about that.
What championships you got back there?
Oh, listen, buddy. We're just a couple of indie legends, me and you. That is for a company in Aberdeen, Ohio. We drew a solid 112 for that one. And then that's the tag team title there that I won literally on a riverbank of which the police made us canvass to make sure there were not used needles.
We could use those needles for a ring of hallucination.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Anthony Green's giving us some really good ideas.
Well, let me tell you.
For Ring of Hallucinations.
Well, let me tell you, somebody had already tested out those needles. That I promise you.
That's okay.
Like,
It'll be useful.
Yeah, we're talking about sharing blades, so we'll do sharing needles for our shows.
that's fair.
By the way,
Listen,
that's
I did some.
Sharon blades.
Sharing blade. Oh, that is.
Is.
Yeah. That's a good name.
I came up with one that's gimmick is a Blue Chew guy, and it's rock hard Eric Shins. Erection.
I got it. Yeah.
Yes. Very nice.
That's a good one. And he comes out like he can't do it. Like, you don't want to take a Bronco Buster from this guy. Like, whatever you do, you don't want that.
Or you don't want him to
Why?
tombstone him. You don't want him to tombstone you.
Yeah.
The
No.
old Thrasher, when Thrasher would do the he'd smash you with his dick from the top rope, like that one.
Well, MJF has the move where he just basically
Oh yeah,
thrusts his cock into your face. So
Teabag.
yeah.
I
That is
he
the
might
thing
be
that
able to
happened,
steal
but I think we could come up with a full moveset. It'd be like Nakamura with the knees, you know, like it's a complete dick based offense. I mean, well, let's just say this.
Somebody tried that and it didn't, you know.
I was gonna say nothing bad has ever happened to anybody who's tried that, right? Like,
I've never been to the fight.
on that note, I'm leaving. Anthony Greene, I'm glad that you're alive. You are an incredible talent and one of the best guys out there, and I just want to say that publicly.
Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Let me know when you want to wrestle for that belt. I'll be. He left before I could challenge him for the title on the riverbank where the needles are.
Riverbank needle match. There we go. We got a new gimmick on Ring of Hallucinations.
My last one here, and we're going to tie a lot of things together for this last question. It's going to be wrestling. You mentioned 2000s independent wrestling, and we just talked about erections. So I'm going to put all this together. I don't think you've ever wrestled this man, but I'm wondering if you've been in the locker room with one Bryan Danielson, and if you have, does he talk about flaccid penises as much as the claim is that he talks about flaccid penises?
So I've probably been in the locker room with him maybe a handful of times, 2 or 3 times. I cannot remember whether or not he talked about flaccid or erect penises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever share the locker room with him, bring it up, and he'll probably give you a 30-minute soliloquy of why a flaccid penis is great and erect penis is better. This is his thing. I'm not trying to, out his business or anything. This is what he says. He's a big fan of flaccid penises. And so if you ever see him, that's your opening conversation with him. 2000s ROH, now who cares about that? Let's talk flaccid penises, Brian. Go ahead, SVD.
No, I was like, to bring it back all around, back to wrestling, back to the Battle Riot. You mentioned earlier, you're talking about like throwing Donovan Dijak over the top rope. Is there anyone in particular you can see as being a threat to you winning this year's Battle Riot?
Yeah. So last year it was in August, I was added into the Opera Cup, and I lost in the first round to Bishop Dyer. Also 2 months previous at an event in New York City, I lost to Brock Anderson as well. So if there's, the Brock Andersons of the world, the Bishop Dyers of the world are people I obviously have to look out for. Killer Cross is another one. I don't think he's going to be someone easy. So I might try to, stick in the corner until, 2 or 3 guys are on him and then maybe join in on the beatdown. But no, overall, I'm just really excited for it. I'm excited to be back at MLW. I'm excited to be back at the Battle Riot. Major League Wrestling has a long history of professional wrestling going back to 2002. All the legends that have held the MLW title, Kojima has held that championship. Hammerstone has held that championship. Your current champion, Mads Kruger, on the independents known as Cruel, is the current champion. And I think this year is going to be a really cool year for Anthony Greene in Major League Wrestling, and it starts on the 29th.
The serial killer, Cruel, is the current champion. Anthony, we appreciate you joining us again. It is MLW Battle Riot, January 29th in Kissimmee, Florida. Also on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you there. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me on X at alternative_AG. I'm on Instagram at TheAlternativeAG. And most importantly, you can see me on January 29th in the Battle Riot for Major League Wrestling, like you said, live on YouTube.
We appreciate it, Anthony. You're welcome back anytime. Just pop on. We're open here. You have the link. The link is the same. I don't know if you know that, but like you can literally, we're live weekdays 10 to 12. If you're bored and you're like, hey, what are Jeremy and SP3 up to? Let's talk some Pete and Pete. Let's bury Pete and Pete. Just come join us if you would like to.
We'll only bury older Pete.
Yeah, fuck
Exactly.
older Pete. That's right.
See, me and him, we're here.
Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
There you
Thanks,
go,
Anthony.
everybody. Anthony Greene. He's so much fun. He's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was
When MLW PR, they're like, oh, we're kicking up Battle Riot coverage. Can we get people on the show? I was like, of course, And they're like, what about Anthony Greene? I was like, oh, Anthony Greene would be great. He was fantastic last time he was on with us. He seemed to enjoy his time with us. So as long as I always worry of like, I don't know if they want to come on our show, especially people who we've had before. I was like, I guess it's a good thing that I assume they know. I mean, Anthony clearly knew. He's like, oh, it's been a year. We talked to EWR. I was like, okay, he remembers. He knows who we are and everything. I just assume like people come on this show and then they immediately message PR and they're like, that was a disaster. Never book me for this show again. They're over here talking about penises and everything. Like, I don't know. What are we doing? I don't want to
Rock
be on
hard
this.
Eric Shin.
Yeah. That's always my assumption when we interview these people is PR gets messaged and it's like, nope, never. We talked like 20% wrestling. That was it. Like, I don't want to be on this show anymore.
We
Everyone
give them
seems
the
to-
hard-hitting questions like your top 3 Nickelodeon
Yeah.
shows from the 90s.
Like, I like to think everyone has a good time on this show. We keep things very light, Anyone, our chat certainly knows. Anyone who's seen our interviews know that, like, we'll ask like questions that we feel need to be asked depending on who the guest is. But otherwise, like, we like to bullshit with everybody because they're wrestlers, yes, but most of them have lives like that they enjoy outside of wrestling, and we like to chat
Exactly.
about that stuff and get to know them there. But Anthony Greene is great. He's always welcome. He's always welcome back. All right, we got a lot to get to still, SV3, and I do have a haircut today, so I can't go super long.
No worries.
Lab Glass here says, I had an idea for Jeremy's Select Show, alternate universe booking, taking big moments and switching them. Andre beats Hogan, Jake beats Austin. Okay. I can see something
Okay.
like that. I can see something
What
like
if
that.
the what if?
Yeah.
What if wrestling basically?
Mine would be, the problem is like, I feel like I would just dumb it down so much. You mentioned like Jake beating Austin. I was like, yeah. And then Jake Roberts probably loses to Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin never gets over. And both of them are out of wrestling within a year. That's it.
Steve Austin goes back to WCW to get pushed, and he's feuding with Hollywood Hogan in 1999.
Andre beats Hogan. Hogan never gets over, and he's out of wrestling within a year. That's how it all ends.
All your booking just goes like that.
Everybody's just out of it for a year. And Matthew Hooks sent us a super chat. Jeremy SP3, I'm excited what AEW is doing. Hobbs will be missed, but the Rascalz are exciting. How much more AEW roster change do you expect? Well, let's talk about the Rascalz. Yesterday, during the show, it was announced by Fightful Select that the Rascalz had signed with TNA, they had signed with AEW. They have left TNA to sign with AEW. They were backstage at the show. They were not used, but they did kind of add a vignette of just the Rascalz are coming soon. Maybe they were going to appear on Collision. They did not appear on Collision. We don't know when they're going to debut, but they are coming soon. The Rascalz, for those that don't know, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel. It is all 4 of them. I'm very happy to see that all 4 have made it to the company, because like all 4 of them just got together over the past few months when Wesley, formerly Wesley, Dez, left or was released by WWE and was able to come back to TNA to do the reunion. So it is all 4 of them. I'm a little disappointed, SP3, that they were not sitting front row at the show. They were not identified as the Rascalz. They did not attack FTR. And at the end of the show, they did not align with MJF. I thought that would have been the proper booking for them. Instead, they just got the vignette.
I feel like I've seen this before. I feel like I've seen this in some way. And literally, it's hilarious you say this, is because pull back the curtain, good friend. Someone on our SI team put the Radicals side with AEW, and I was like,
oh, shit.
You're about 26 years late for that one.
Well, one of them's there, so it's fine. I posted that last night on Twitter. And some people got it, and then there were other people who were like, why would they align with MJF? I was like, look, man, you either get the joke or you don't right here.
You either alive in 2000 or you weren't.
You either understand why they're aligning with MJF or you don't. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense in 2000 either.
It's not here to make sense. My comparison works. That's all I'm going for here. But they are coming. Oh, go ahead.
I'm very happy for the Rascalz. It just seemed like a no-brainer move when the news broke that they were leaving TNA. These are guys that are, for lack of a better term, they are flippy stoners. AEW is the best place for flippy stoners. They're guys that have a distinct character. They're guys that you don't have to feature all the time in, 15-minute, 20-minute banger. You can have them featured like TNA did a lot of times in 3-minute treehouse segments where they get over their character, they get over their story in a short amount of time. They don't have to be, featured in a matchup all the time, but you can feature them on both Dynamite and Collision because they can fit any type of kind of bubble that you put them in, as far as like their character work with the treehouse, with being the stoners, with the different references that they make to smoking weed. And then in the ring, they are just the prototypical AEW stars. They are the guys that you can give a matchup against any of your, trios that you have out there, Don Callis family, the Death Riders, and they will stand out immediately and they will show out. Trey Miguel is one of the most talented guys that I've seen in the ring. He's got a great personality. I've been able to interview him a few times and got to really kind of know him. And I remember seeing these guys on like independent shows and like Warrior Wrestling and stuff like that. And yeah, they're the type of guys that not only can you feature on AEW Dynamite and Collision, I don't think they're gonna make any type of like a fuss about being on ROH either. They could be on ROH and they could stand out over there and have the bangers on the pay-per-view shows and stuff like that. They are so good at what they do. Trey Miguel is a guy that should have been TNA World Champion. I remember in like 2020 during the pandemic, they were really pushing him in the main event scene with his rivalry with Ace Austin, and Ace going after Trey's mom, which they can make reference to that if you want to do Rascalz versus Bang Bang Gang. You can make reference to their older rivalry. Zachary Wentz is a guy that's finally gotten a look as far as like a single star, winning the X Division Championship in 2024, and then in the tag team with Trey Miguel becoming TNA World Tag Team Champions. I was so happy when they finally got to win those titles because I felt like they should have won them early on. They were with TNA from 2018 all the way until last year. Like, they had a very lengthy run and they accomplished so much. They were TNA World Tag Team Champions. Trey Miguel was the X Division Champion. Zachary Wentz was the X Division Champion. Wes Lee is a guy that was in my opinion, the greatest North American champion of all time. He had so many bangers week after week, especially in like 2023 when he was facing like Donovan Dijak and he was facing Nathan Frazier and those guys every single week on NXT. He was the best in-ring worker worker at that time and could always deliver when they had those premium live events, or you had an episode of NXT and you needed a banger that everybody was going to talk about, it was usually Wesley on one side of the ring every single time. And in TNA, he was a guy that I always felt like should have done more, whether it's in the tag team with Zachary Wentz or on his own. MSK was a great time in NXT when they first went over there, and they were the best tag team in WWE at one point, in my opinion. And then you have Myron Reed. Myron Reed is the best, is the person that makes me so happy that all four have signed, because Myron Reed getting a deal, it is baffling that TNA spent the last like 3 to 4 months with the Rascalz story being, hey, these two guys are trying to get re-signed in Wentz and Trey, while Myron Reed's just trying to get a contract, and they're always making fun of him for not having a contract. That was their story on TNA. So to have that be their story on your weekly television and then you don't re-sign them, that is baffling. I am sorry. That is so bizarre.
SP3, it's not only their story. Myron Reed was supposed to face Leon Slater tonight for the title. Now, I know part of that might be that WWE wanted Leon for the European tour, and so that's why it didn't happen. But also, Myron Reed, when they booked the match, wasn't under contract when they announced and booked the match. And so they advertised this without this guy under contract, and then AEW just signs him, and they signed his friends as well. And now you don't have your X Division title match because of it. Again, I know WWE wanted Leon, and so that played a part into it, but they could have done something else with the Rascalz tonight had, this not happened. Hello, Sean. How are you?
Hey, Sean. You're muted, or I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Sean.
Yeah, I see your mouth.
I can come back since we're talking about something that I know about.
Okay.
Thankfully, Anthony Greene isn't dead. But specifically, Jeremy, I've known about the Rascalz and the Hobbs thing for a few days. Yeah.
Yeah, can I out when you told me?
Yes, you can absolutely out when you can now.
It was, let's see when the message came. It was on Saturday you told me about this.
Yes. And I have a very nice relationship with the Rascalz. I did Myron Reed's wedding for the love of God, and didn't want to cost him a deal by it being out there. But when certain people don't respond to you, it becomes very evident. There was more in what wasn't being said than what was being said that gave it away. We'll have an update on like Kelly in the future days, but I heard about all that, and the Hobbs thing was interesting because I first started to track the Hobbs thing back in September because there was an account that had posted a thing about like jumping ship and all that, and I straight up asked, and he was like, I have not had a conversation with WWE because it was about him. Mm-hmm. Obviously that has changed because I'm careful with wording because of media illiterate dumbasses, but that man's going to WWE. I see people say, Tony, last minute Hail Mary. Those Hail Marys have been thrown. The time has expired on that. He's going to WWE. Like that's what's going on. He's going there. The Rascalz situation, TNA did make an offer to keep them. Myron had never been under contract. Dez had never been under contract. Trey was pretty adamant on leaving at that point. Wentz, I would talk to people because some word had emerged internally that TNA had re-signed the Rascalz. And then when I would ask some of them, they'd be like, no, we have not re-signed. Hasn't happened. But might get in trouble for this one. I don't care. TNA had also went to a bunch of their talent and said, don't tell Sean and other people when your contracts are up or when you've re-signed. And guess what they did? But
who told this to the talent, Sean?
Huh?
Who told this?
Who told the talent this to not
Who
say
told the
anything?
talent this? Probably the same guy that talks to me and tells me things. And when you tell an independent contractor who is probably underpaid what not to do,
Yeah. It works. It works out real well.
yeah, and then I'll tell you what got. I mean, I knew by Saturday, but then someone in TNA had leaked to. I'm not going to name the reporter, but about the Rascalz contract status, and from what I understood, that was a let's leave on good terms, and please don't put this out there. We'd like for this to be a surprise type of thing. And there are some times when I have to weigh relationship versus scoops, and will preserving this relationship with a rep, with a talent, with so-and-so, will that lead to better things for my audience in the future? Well, we still got the scoop and still ran it before the graphic. We didn't ruin a pop or anything like that. With Hobbs, where else is he going? He ain't going to TNA. All due respect to TNA.
NWA.
He ain't going to NWA. Yeah, just ain't going there. Although, I'll say there are people there getting paid more than I expected. I'll say that. I'll put a number. I'll put a number in our private chat, and I'll let you guys decide if that is more than what you had expected this person to be making.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That definitely is.
There you go. So it makes sense why some people stuck around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing. And listen, TNA don't owe me information. Nobody owes me information. I owe you people information. I owe the audience information. So that's kind of what we do here. But Hobbs is going to WWE. That's the thing. And let me tell you, I'll see people say Tony shouldn't have let him go. Tony did not let him go. Because you know what? I'll put another thing in the chat, and
Holy shit.
would it be safe to say that Tony did not let him go?
No,
For
Tony
you.
Tony did not let him go.
Tony Khan very much wanted to keep Hobbs. Did he want to keep him and put him in the role of which Hobbs wanted? That I don't know. That I have no idea. But I first off, I like Hobbs a lot personally. Hobbs reached out to me when I lost my grandmother, and he has been just a lovely human being in general. Not talking wrestling, not talking anything, just a how you doing, are you okay type of thing. Wonderful guy. Everybody has lovely things to say about him. And I'm excited to watch him face Gunther and Braun Breaker and Obafemi, and to watch Cody like tremble in fear of this guy he thought he left behind somewhere else, and them to play off of that. I think there are a lot of people that don't know shit about Will Hobbs. They don't know what he sounds like. They don't know his promo style. They don't know how measured and composed he is. If in the right hands in WWE, he can be a different kind of talent. Imagine if the Jake Roberts promo style was with someone who is physically imposing. That's him. That's how he is. I also see a lot of things that are like, I see a lot of misconceptions out there about money, booking, etc. I don't know what his booking is going to be in WWE. I don't know how much they offered him. I don't know any of that. I know that they saw a really good talent, and they wanted that really good talent, and that's what they should do. They should want somebody like Hobbs. Everybody should want somebody like Hobbs. The Rascalz, this is life-changing for them, quite frankly. With the exception of Desmond Xavier, most of them have been grinding it out on the indies and TNA for a long time. And this is a life-changing contract for them, a life-changing situation for them. And I'll see a lot of people say, oh, well, WWE's taking a young talent away from AEW. I'm like, guys, do y'all not watch interviews? Hobbs is talking about having a 16-year-old son 4 years ago, like who's like going to be 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
This man is preparing for after his career already. Like, he's a very smart man. Very smart man. The Rascalz have an awful lot to give AEW, but more than anything, they've got a lot to give their families now. And that's not me trying to denigrate TNA or anything else. Like, I am hopeful that this TV deal leads to a big third one, because the wrestling landscape is missing what ROH had 5 or 6 years ago under the Sinclair banner. There was a lot to be desired in the show itself, but Sinclair was giving people money to where they didn't have to work a day job if they didn't want to. And that is something that is missing in American wrestling right now. MLW does not run weekly. NWA is going to pay a few people their thing. TNA is running a couple times a month, and that's how they operate their pay scale. New Japan does not have a U.S. wing anymore. I was shocked to see that they were doing like the New Jersey dates.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm just saying, guys, on the surface, it isn't always as it seems. And I'll also say this. There are 2 wrestling databases on the internet. One has me listed as born in 1985. One as 1994. 0 are correct. My correct birthday is nowhere on the internet. So imagine how that is for all kinds of wrestlers. And I'm not talking about Hobbs. I'm talking about everybody. Swerve had to correct his birthday on Twitter recently. His birthday.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So I got a question for you, Sean. Where do you think?
No.
Yes,
where do you Raw. Think? I would.
He didn't leave, so that's a
exactly.
Start. Usually he just leaves.
I'm asking what you think. I'm not actually sure to report anything. Where do you think Hobbs will debut in WWE?
Where? I think he'll be on the Rumble. That's what I think. Okay. I think it'll be main roster. If I know Hobbs the way that I think I do, I would think it would be on the main roster. I think SmackDown could use him a lot. I think there is a lot to play off of with Cody seeing people that he thought he would never see again. And I mean, I want to see Cody and Punk at WrestleMania because I want to see the catty little bitchy promos where Cody says he's more Punk than CM Punk ever was, and while Punk was sitting on his ass, he went and started a company, and then Punk tried to ruin that company and came running back to the company that CM Punk had revived. Like, all that. I want to see all that. That's what I want to see. But I want to see Hobbs, interacting with somebody like Cody, because Cody, against those big dudes, he's got that unique element of selling them. But this is a big part of the infusion of talent that WWE needed on the main roster. I don't care about age or a number. I care about fresh talent more than anything, and they've needed that really badly. I can't say Raw or SmackDown. I don't know. I'm about to go through the WrestleVote show. They've got some news on it, so maybe they'll have something, FightfulSelect.com. But I expect main roster, and I know NXT loves to bring people from WWE, or from AEW, TNA, AAA, all that. And I've mentioned this on a number of shows, and I'm working on a full report, but a CW contact told me that they believe that anybody who's a WWE fan that wants to watch NXT already is, and they feel like they can bring in fans of other shows by doing that. And the numbers have certainly reflected that, if there's any credibility to be given to them these days. But yeah, somebody says, do you think Hobbs shows up before the Collision show? If I were WWE, I would get him signed today.
Yeah, I put him on SmackDown tomorrow. I
thought
about that. Yeah.
Tomorrow, and I would say, oh my God, he is a champion somewhere else before he loses it on Collision. As I watched everything unfold, and then throughout the day, I was told, he's got a match on Collision, I go, oh my God. And here's the reality of the situation. He would never just walk out. He would never do business the wrong way. He wouldn't. But they had to make that match first on the card, because if they made it the main event where it's going to air on Collision, it might have happened after midnight, and legally he could have walked out in the middle of the match.
Yeah, I thought about that when they taped it. I was like, they have SmackDown Live tomorrow. Could they fly him over there in time to put him on the show? And then he obviously still has the match on AEW on Saturday, but like, I feel like you could pull this off if you really wanted to. Nick Khan seems petty enough to be like, you know what?
Hey, I'll be at that show. I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs in the front row.
Of all things, I don't consider that petty. That's just smart.
Yeah, it's business.
They didn't force AEW to put him on a taped show 2 days later. Like AEW knew his deal was coming up. They could have scheduled this Collision match to be an.
They could have put it on Dynamite. Well, they could put it on Dynamite. They have these standby matches.
They added 2 matches to Dynamite last night. You could have added that.
They could have absolutely done that. Like, no, listen, and this is what happens when you have a million fucking titles on your show too. Like, come on.
Yeah,
but
I hope they do it. I think it'd be great just for television. It's good television. That's what I care about.
And somebody said they were in Arizona, so probably finished before midnight. I would imagine that the contract is Eastern time. Though.
Yeah.
And if it is, they weren't finished before midnight because the last match started just after midnight.
Rep Arena tapings one time went till 1 a.m. Because they were flying Brit from Birmingham, Alabama on the private jet to get there because they had to film a match because they couldn't do it the next week because Saraya had to go to London and do promotion for the show. So they just killed time. They sent a guy out there cold, a producer, to do a match to kill time. It was insane.
The shows are very long.
I've got a lot of writing to do, and I just want to say something, guys. I ain't fucking done. I got more. Jeremy?
Do I know about these two?
These two or these two?
These two.
I don't know. Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Not 6, not 7.
Please
not 8.
Please DM me the scoops so I can pre-write the story.
I ain't done this weekend either. And by the way, no, the tryouts won't find out any signings for weeks.
Yeah.
Give us New Japan. I just gave you a full week of them. What are you talking about?
Did though.
Let me live, man.
Rocky's not picking up the phone right now.
That was so funny when I can't remember what story that like I published. It was about Suji not liking AEW and New Japan or US. Yeah. Somebody goes, Rocky selling the angle. And I'm like, guys, the last thing I talked to Rocky about was, what is your advice for Fightful Espanol? That was the last time I talked to Rocky.
That's the bit. Anytime you mention like New Japan stuff, I'm always going to reference Rocky and be like, oh, Rocky's not calling. Oh, Rocky calls you.
But I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, they think that's the only person that speaks English. And like, I don't know somebody that speaks Japanese and translates by now. Come on, guy. I've been doing this for 16 years, which is crazy for a guy born in 1994, according to Pro Fight TV. Wrestling Inc. let their young gun go away. Raj fumbled. He did, though. He really did.
He did.
Yeah. He did, honestly, yeah.
I saw him at the Broncos game, the Bengals-Broncos game, and like, listen, I know a lot of people on the net don't like Raj. I still like Raj. I mean, there's a lot of issues I had there, but like, I like him personally. And he was like, man, I always knew it. Knew you'd be the guy. And I was like, no, you could have ran that check, bro.
Yeah. I will never say anything bad about Raj, despite his online tweeting, because he waited in line and got me the Avalanche Yeet shirt when WWE was in Denver, and like he did not have to do that.
You should bury him for that. Why would you?
Well, it was a Colorado Avalanche
You
shirt.
just
I don't
changed
care.
my whole opinion on him.
That was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that. He was with his kids
Oh,
too.
my gosh.
He didn't have to do that.
Don't worry, that's why they got
I
me
like-
here. I'll be the one who talks trash about his tweets.
His tweets are terrible. His
I don't
tweets
like
are
his
terrible.
tweets. I don't like
Yeah.
his tweets, but I love the man. Like the man is very instrumental in my career, despite some fundamental disagreements about a lot of things. Man was very instrumental in my career. I mean, listen, Bill Apter never paid me a dime, and I love that man. So, but then again, Bill Apter's tweet history is a little bit different, slightly. I gotta hop off here and edit this WrestleVote show. I'll see y'all later. Give us a scoop,
See you,
man.
Sean.
All right, hold on. I gave you TNA returning to Nashville yesterday. More people are jumping ship.
Yes.
Like that.
All right.
See you guys later.
Please DM me the
See you,
script so I
Sean.
can pre-write the story, Sean. All right, we have to review Dynamite in like a half hour because I have to.
Don't worry.
Go.
MJF and Bandito was fantastic.
Real
That's
quickly.
my review.
Oh, fair. Real quickly on a couple of things. People are like, Jeremy knew on Saturday. I know a lot of things, folks. I don't say shit because I literally just want to pre-write the story. I don't care to tell people things. I tell my wife. That's it. We talk about it. I tell her what's going to happen. I don't tell anybody else because I just want to know so I can get work done. But if you listen closely to the show, I do drop a lot of hints on things.
And Joel was on True Hill Heat yesterday on the TNA Genesis preview, and he literally gave like the hit of all hits. We made it a clip today on True Hill Heat where he was like, TNA, stop poking the bear. The bear owns an NFL team. You don't want to see what they can do to you. And I was like, Joel told us without telling us.
Yeah. I know things. I pay attention to the show. You'll see when I'm correct and when I'm maybe not correct, but you'll hear some things if you actually listen to the show or don't listen to the show. It's probably better if people don't listen to this show. But I'm obviously not going to out when people tell me things. It's not my thing to report, I'm not a reporter. I literally just want to get work done before it happens so I can get other work done. That's it. That's all it comes down to with me. All right. Real quickly, we talked about the Rascalz. I did mention before they signed this week, before that was official, we kind of talked about them joining AEW of like where they might fit in and where they might slot in. They're going to have great matches. I have no doubts about that. I do hope they get like some vignette time and get to do, whether it's the treehouse or kind of a take of the treehouse, whatever it might be. I hope they get that because then they get to really show their personality, and that's going to shine just as much as the match stuff. Because like I said before, is like a lot of people in AEW can have a great match. What else can you do that kind of stands out besides the great match? You give them vignette time, they can get themselves over with that on top of the great match. I think they're going to be very, very much featured on Collision. I hope it leads to kind of the rebuild of the trios division because that's been stagnant for the past few months. And now we have, spoiler alert, everybody, Hangman and Jet Speed are the new champions. Hopefully, I didn't really give people time to like mute or anything. I'm sorry. Hopefully that leads to, again, kind of a rebuild of the trios division. I have question marks there considering Hangman's still in the world title picture and now he's going to still be part of the trios division. But I hope the trios division can be rebuilt with the Rascalz, and I hope they also get singles opportunities. I hope they get tag opportunities. Despite I always say this though, where do they slot in? I'm always worried about where talent slots in because I'm always worried about how people get booked in these promotions. I have the same concern about Hobbs. Where is he going to slot in? One thing I will never say is it's a bad thing to acquire talent. You'll never hear me say that portion. Do I have booking concerns? Yes. I have booking concerns about everybody. They could be I have booking concerns about Roman Reigns right now of what they're going to do with him. But
Any promotion I watch, that's my only concern. My concern is never about, is this person talented? Most of the time I'm watching someone who is very well versed in the world of professional wrestling. All my concern is does this company know how to book this person? And yeah, that's my only concern with the Rascalz in AEW, is if they're going to get the time to get over their characters and to be the great match guys that I know they can be, because they can do both. And that's a rare thing for an AEW signing.
Yeah. But I will never say, like, you know what? I don't think they should sign this person because they already have a super loaded roster. No. Sign talented wrestlers. Give the wrestlers the opportunity to go out there and be talented. And even if you don't give them the opportunities, which again you should if they're under contract, you're paying them. And I'm happy that the wrestlers are getting paid. That's always a good thing as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Rascalz in AEW. On Hobbs going to WWE, you guys mentioned possibility of SmackDown. Yeah, like I said, I thought about that last night. I was like, ooh, he could just show up on SmackDown. And yeah, if I'm Nick Khan, I'm like, get the private jet. Yeah. Gas that thing up, baby. We're bringing you over to England, and we're going to put you on this show. As far as, like, should he be on Raw or SmackDown, I think it depends on where Oba goes. I would not have Oba and Hobbs on the same show because then you're already looking at, like, we have Trick on SmackDown, we have Javon on Raw. You can't, like, put Oba on, let's say, SmackDown and Hobbs on SmackDown. I also don't think you can put Oba on Raw and Hobbs on Raw. So because you already have Trick and Javon split, I would have the Oba Hobbs split as well.
Yeah, I would put Oba on Raw and I would put Hobbs on SmackDown. I think that would be better suited, where he has a lot of different directions that he can go, because he has the history with Cody Rhodes. He's one of those guys that Cody considered one of his guys when he was in AEW. Like Sean said, seeing kind of a ghost from his past. Cody is very good with getting that over and stuff like that. He can go a direction with someone else that used to be in the AEW and maybe be like a bodyguard to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill have two beasts next to each other who are dominating the women's and singles division. Or, you know, maybe he reunites with Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints gets called up and they're a tag team on a SmackDown. That could also work as well. There's so many different directions. He can be the bodyguard for a Trick Williams. Trick Williams needs the muscle to be alongside him, even though he's 6 foot. He's Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan in one. He needs someone else to kind of be by his side to accelerate his rise to the top. It could be someone like Hobbs where they can rise together. There's so many different directions. I think that would be the best place for him. This is a rare case for me, though. I would not mind him going to NXT, because at the new where NXT is right now, he would be one of the biggest stars on that show, and that is immediately a much bigger spot than what he was doing in AEW. I'm very excited. This is like one of the rare kind of, I was excited when Ethan Page left AEW and went to WWE, because I thought that his way, what he contributes, would work well in WWE, and it has. In my opinion, Ethan Page is right behind Cody as the best AEW to WWE signing. Hobbs gets me even more excited because he has the look, he has the size, he has the whole vibe that would work and would be something that I think either Triple H or even Shawn Michaels would elevate and make a prime star on whatever brand. It might take a couple of years on the main roster. There's probably a ceiling there, but on NXT, I know he can immediately become right into the picture and be in that 6-way ladder match, and he would be my pick to win it.
I hope they understand what they have with Hobbs. I hope they always understand what they have with a lot of these talents. I hope they understand what they have with Trick. I hope they understand what they have with Oba and Javon and these guys coming up. Like, I hope they get it. And I hope, like, they are actually featured and utilized to the best of their abilities. I don't care that Hobbs is almost 40. Like Sean said, he doesn't have, like, a ton of television time. He started in AEW in 2020. He was featured throughout his time in AEW. There are points where they could have done better. There are points where I thought, okay, this is a good use of him. But it's not like he's been around for 20 years, despite his age. And in WWE, he's never been around. So you have plenty of opportunities and plenty of fresh stories and matches to do with him. So I'm never as worried about the age as much as the television age of somebody. And CM Punk is almost 50, but he's been on television. Look, the 13-year or the 12-year gap actually helped him because he wasn't on TV that entire time. Like the Miz is Miz is older and he's been on television for 20 years and it feels like he's done everything he can do. I think the Miz still has youth. Okay, I'm a little tired of the Miz. Hobbs is, almost 40, but he's only been on television for a few years. There's plenty to do with him. So I look forward to seeing what Hobbs can do. Hopefully they understand what they have and they do right. And yeah, I put him on SmackDown. And
it's also great timing on his part. Because with the report by Fightful Select, and Sean did a great job with that full details that he gave in the report, where he talked about that they've wanted him for a while. They wanted him back when the other guy was in charge of talent relations, and Hobbs chose to stay with AEW, and that was the best decision for him. Because I think if he comes at that time, I don't see the upward trajectory that I do see from him now, because he's coming off of his best year booking wise in AEW. He had that big title program this time last year against Jon Moxley. He's always been a very Jon Moxley guy. Jon Moxley was the one who introduced him when he came to main programming for AEW back in 2020. And then, he's feuded with him, faced him for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship when he got injured in 2024. And then he had the program with him last year as part of like the Death Riders. And Hobbs really is one of the people that first benefited from the whole Death Riders angle, because he had that matchup, then that leads to him joining the Ops, then him and the Ops beat the Death Riders at Spring Breakthrough to become Trios champions, and then he's been involved with the Death Riders for a lot of that. He had a standout performance in Anarchy in the Arena. He was involved in like the main program with the Death Riders throughout pretty much the rest of the year, and then he was involved in that great Falls Count Anywhere matchup with Hangman Adam Page at Blood and Guts. So he is coming off the best year that he had in AEW. This was the perfect time for him to look for other options and to look to go to WWE, where they're going to pay him a good substantial amount of money for him to come in. And yes, he probably will go directly to the main roster because he's more than ready.
Yeah. All right. Dynamite. You mentioned MJF and Bandito. MJF did get the victory in this match. He retained the AEW championship. He made Bandito pass out to the label lock or the crossface. And after the match, he said that Bandito would be a future champion, and that is why he had to continue to attack him, or that's why he did attack him. Brody King made the save. Despite people's fear online, there was no turn. They ended the show with Brody and Bandito just being friends. I was a little concerned, but like I mentioned yesterday, I was like, I think Tony realizes what there is with Brody and Bandito. And I don't think he's going to just do the turn for the sake of doing the turn. It always felt more likely to me that Brody was going to face MJF at Australia. And I still think that is the plan there. But thoughts on the match and then the post-match angle.
Oh, I love this match. This is the front runner for me. This is the best TV match I've seen so far this year. I know we're only 15 days into the new year, but this is the benchmark to start off the year. I thought this was very great chemistry and the storytelling. Like, these two guys can do the moves and go out there and have a banger kind of in their sleep, but the storytelling was on point with MJF going after the previous injured shoulder that Bandito had. And I thought commentary, this was the best commentary we've gotten in quite some time, because it was Bryan Danielson and Excalibur. Excalibur, when he is without the cliche machine, Tony Schiavone next to him, he is a very good play-by-play guy, and Bryan Danielson might be passing Nigel McGuinness for me as the best color commentator in the game today, because he adds so much, talking about the Iron Man match with MJF, and that was a little bit of foreshadowing, because he mentions it early on the matchup, And then in the end, MJF loses the LeBell Lock to get the win, the same way that he beat Bryan in that Iron Man matchup. But the work on the shoulder, the previously injured shoulder that he injured during the AEW World Tag Team title reign and during his ROH World Championship reign, especially against Hechicero, whether it be in Mexico or back in Philly, that was great how they told that story. MJF going after the arm, Bandito with this great comeback, that dive into the crowd was crazy. The near falls towards the end when he hits him with the Poison Rana and then the Code Red, the numerous attempts at the 21 plex and the different ways MJF was able to evade it or just get out of the way or reverse it, and then him finally hitting it, but Bandito being sore worn down, he couldn't even go for the cover, and then the end with the salt of the earth into the LeBell Lock, just a great ending, and Bandito passing out in a finisher that you don't always have to pass out in, but you have MJF with his basically his two hands over Bandito's face, not allowing him to breathe out of his nose. It is realistic for him to pass out to that. So everything made sense of the matchup. This was absolutely superb, a tremendous main event, and like I said, the benchmark for TV wrestling so far in 2026.
Well, I mean, I thought Maxine and Becky set that early.
Don't do this to me, Skip. Don't do this to me, Skip. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We already got the benchmark for worst match of the year with that one.
They're gonna set the bar again on Monday.
Jeremy, 6 times.
Duncan Doyle, that's what we're calling them because it's better than Davis and Doyle. Because
I like Davis and Doyle. It sounds like straight two guys they got out of a construction site that had just come in. Davis and Doyle. I love it. I love it. Y'all can call it Duncan Doyle. I'm calling it Davis and Doyle. They were awesome in that matchup. My favorite spot of the whole matchup, with all the crazy moves that happened in the matchup, was Davis and Doyle doing like this and just going, ah! I was like, yes, two beefy men who are just insane and just want to beat up everybody, and then him reversing the Huracan Rana and just power bombing dude out of power speedball out of the ring, and then Davis doing the pop up spike bombers right. Oh, I was like, these guys are awesome. My new favorite tag team.
I'm glad they won. I do love a good just like throw a person over the top rope onto a bunch of bodies, especially if you're gonna switch. If it's a press slam, that's fine, but like a power bomb, everything is always good. So I did love that spot as well. Davis and Doyle won. They beat Jet Speed, Young Bucks, and GOA to earn a shot at the AEW Tag Team titles against FTR. I'm glad they won. I said it yesterday, like that was the right call. I did not need to see the Bucks and FTR again. I didn't need to see, I know it's for the title, but I didn't need to see Jet Speed and FTR again.
I wouldn't have mind that. That was my pick. I wouldn't have mind that.
And GOA and FTR are like, all right, fine. But Davis and Doyle is fresh, and I do like that. My only kind of complaint about this is we're doing heel and heel, and FTR were such great heels over the past few months, and now they're facing Don Callis family, and now how is that dynamic going to work? Of like, are any of these people likable? And
I think Davis and Doyle would be the baby faces in that situation because they're just awesome. It's awesome to see two big dudes who can just overpower anyone. And it depends on where they do the matchup. If they're doing it in Australia, oh, definitely. Davis and Doyle in Australia, yeah, they would be loved in there. Davis and Doyle, they would be the baby faces.
I think they're going to work as the baby faces. Yeah, if they do it in Australia, they will be cheered. I'm talking about like the television dynamic leading up, because Don Callis sucks and Stokely Hathaway sucks, and you got to figure out who is going to be like, hey, you actually need to cheer for or maybe you don't. Maybe just like, we're just going to beat the shit out of you. But I do think there might be a disconnect of like, where's the actual conflict here? And I know for us, that's not a huge deal. For other people, that is a deal of like, who am I supposed to root for here? And heel and heel dynamics on television can be difficult. The match, I don't have any issue. I don't have any concerns about like the match layout, because the match layout seems pretty obvious. And especially if you're going to be in Australia, knowing FTR as well, just how good they work. Like, I'm not worried about the match layout. I am a little concerned, not for me, because I'm looking forward to the match, but for a bigger picture of people, the heel and heel dynamic might be a turnoff for some people.
I don't mind heel versus heel. I've seen good to great heel versus heel matchups. I've seen bad heel versus heel matchups. I think that the key to the build-up is to not have them, go at it directly. You can have times where maybe they team up with each other and they do the can they coexist because they're both heels, but then you could have something like they're facing somebody else and FTR interferes in that matchup and cost them where their tag team partner from the Don Callis family gets beat. I think the key to the build-up is to put Davis and Doyle in 2-on-2 tag team matches. We need to see them in a 2-on-2 tag team matchup because AEW tends to over-rely on multi-man matchups. We need to see them as a 2-on-2 tag team get some wins, whether it can be squash wins. They could do some squash wins on like Collision and stuff like that, but the key is to see them on Dynamite against a competitive team where they get a win and prove they can beat one of the best like FTR. I think that will be the key to everything.
Show opened with Pac and Darby Allin murdering each other. Well, Darby. But hey, look, he put the chair on like Pac's ankle and did the coffin drop to it and everything. Like he tried to cripple Pac, if nothing else. So yeah, they try to murder each other. Pac went a little further with the murder. I will concede on that point.
That belly to belly on the steel steps, like that's the craziest thing. That's the craziest bump he's taken since Christian body slammed him onto the steel steps at Wrestle Dream 2023. Like that, I was just like, Darby Allin, and then him making his comeback. That match was so smartly done, where he just killed him. He does that power bomb over the top rope onto the ramp, and then Darby gets it. Darby did the best get up at 9 and get into the ring in a hurry that I've seen in quite some time. Too many people do the let me slowly get up. Darby waited till he heard 8 and then he heard 9 and then he popped up and jumped into the ring, and then him giving the middle finger, and then Pac just accidentally jumping off the top rope too high bothered his ankle that Darby injured last week. And I was like, oh, that was great how Darby jumped on him. Darby, who was lifeless at one point, he saw a wounded animal and he just I was like, this is smartly done. That was a great matchup to start off the show. They bookended with their best 2 matches on the night. I love the 4-way tag team matchup as well, but those 2 matches were really smartly laid out and well done from everybody. And I thought Darby getting the win. Hopefully, this is the end of Darby versus the Death Riders, because it needs to be the end. Add Darby into the mix with Omega, Swerve, and Hangman as one of those challengers for MJF coming up.
Well, get ready to learn more Death Rider, buddy.
Oh God!
I do love Darby matches that, and they've done this before, but it always pops me, that start with him doing like the suicide dive, and it's like very out of nowhere. They're focused on the opponent, and here comes Darby. Because one, I don't think anybody does a better suicide dive than him, because he looks like he is trying to commit suicide when he does. He's just throwing himself at the opponent.
Like, I said to the True Heat chat during this matchup, I was like, I just love when Darby's making his comeback. I was like, I love how Darby's body is a weapon against himself and his opponent. Yeah. That's the key to every Darby Allin match, is that his body is the weapon for himself and his opponent.
Yeah. I hope they move Darby on to something else, but I'll believe it when I see it right now. We did have the promo with Hangman and Swerve and the return of Kenny Omega, and they all just effectively announced their intention to go after the championship. Hangman did beat Brian Keith because Brian Keith was trying to collect on the bounty on Hangman, and that did not work out for him. We did get like interference and stuff in the match with Big Bill and Swerve coming out, and then after the match, Swerve and Hangman said they're going after the title. Kenny Omega came out and said he was going after the title. They shook hands with Hangman, which Swerve was like, all right, didn't know how to feel about that. Don Callis came out, and they set up Don Callis against Josh Alexander. They set up Kenny against Josh Alexander for Dynamite. This was a great heel move by Don, by the way, because, you know, Kenny's ready to fight and let's do it tonight and everything. And I didn't think it was going to happen tonight, mind you. But they were taping Collision in the same venue. So I was like, okay, they'll just announce it for Collision. The Phoenix crowd still gets it. Like, okay, like it's fine. Callis is like, next week we're doing it. Like, oh, now they have legitimate reason to be pissed off. Like, I'd be pissed off too if I thought like, oh, I'm going to get it tonight. Oh, maybe not tonight, but like they're here for Collision. I'll get it on. What do you mean? What do you mean Georgia? I don't know where they're at next week. What do you mean Georgia gets this match?
Don Callis is one of the best heels in the game right now. Is him being like, I'm your daddy. And daddy says it's next week. I was like, I love you, Don. Don, you're amazing heel. He's so good. Kenny is so good as just this kind of like nonchalant wrestling god who just is just he's ready to get some wins, to pick up wins so he can get into the AEW World Championship scene. Loved Hangman looking at Kenny with the heart eye emojis. Like, look at my former friend. My friend's back. My friend's here. He's like, you know, let the best man win. And then Swerve being a petty, salty bitch in the corner, like, he's supposed to be my friend now. We're enemies at heart, but he's supposed to be my friend now. Why is he being friends with this guy that he also feuded with? Ah, man, that was great. Great dynamics there with those three baby faces, and then Don coming out to give Kenny some wins. I like the fact that you have these three top baby faces orbiting the world title scene. It makes the world title feel more important. This is the best I felt about the AEW world title scene in a while, coming off of that great matchup to end the show, and then all these top baby faces coming after him.
And we had Statlander, Willow, and Harley against Triangle of Madness. Thekla penned Statlander, as many of us thought would happen to set up Thekla and Statlander. I assume for Grand Slam. I don't think they're holding off for Revolution for this. I assume it's going to happen at Grand Slam.
You see, because Austrian is close to Australia, I guess, in how it's spelled, not really on the map or anything like that. But anyway, this was a solid matchup. I like the finish with Statlander still trying to prove that she is, you know, Willow's friend and that she has her back, taking the bullet for him. They didn't get a lot of like heat, like I said in the chat here. It just felt like the crowd was kind of saving all their energy for the main event, and that has to do with like the pacing of the show. I would have put this match early on in the place of like the Brody King squash, or even something like that. I would have put that earlier in the show instead of at this spot. But I thought it was a solid matchup. Everybody worked hard in the matchup, especially Harley getting tossed around by her two more powerful tag team partners, and the Triangle of Madness needed this win, so I was happy for them.
I think the standby match is so dumb.
It is very dumb. This one did make more sense than Collision. Collision, it made no sense to say the Death Riders and Skyflight that went nearly 15 minutes. It went too short, so we got to stand. But what? What are you talking about? That wasn't short.
The standby match, I think it's dumb because it's pro wrestling, and so like it's supposed to be like unpredictable. So what if a match just goes like 30 seconds? You're basically kind of like giving away that like, some matches are meant to be longer and some matches are meant to be shorter, and that seems like stupid to me. What if the standby match goes 20 minutes? What if Brody King just decides like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of this dude for 10 minutes? I'm not gonna pin him. I'm just gonna beat him up for 10 minutes. Then what? Do you have to cut time from another match?
Tony is smart because his standby matches are usually Star versus Jobber. That's a standby match.
Right. No, I understand that. But again, what if Brody is like, you know what? I want to be on television longer. I'm just going to beat this dude up for 10 minutes. Why should I pin him? Why don't I just kick the shit out of him? Why doesn't he just kick the shit out of John Cruz for 20 minutes instead of like pinning him in the match?
This was an instance where you didn't need to use the terminology standby match. You could have just said Brody King went to Tony Khan and he wanted to eliminate John Cruz as a factor in MJF's corner, so we got a match up next. He could have said it in that way instead of saying we got a standby match. Like, what?
Yeah, I would have much preferred that. Standby match is just like a dumb thing that it feels like you're telling the audience of like, hey, the show is timed out a certain way, and if they don't hit their times, we got to add something else to it. It's like, that seems stupid to me.
I don't think it's stupid, but I understand your issue with it.
It's not the biggest deal in the world. I'm not saying like, oh, AEW should be canceled over doing this standby match thing. I'm just like, just say Brody King's gonna be in action. Yeah, he went to. They do that all the time. Of like, this person's gonna be in action, and then it's a squash match. Like, do that. You don't have to say it's a standby match. The whole show should be standby matches. Announce the promos and then be like, well, MJF actually went shorter on his promo than he was allotted for, so we need a standby match.
That's unbelievable. That's too unbelievable to happen. So no, that can't happen.
All right, fine. Announce one match and then be like, well, MJF went too long on his promo, so no matches on the show tonight.
No matches on the show. It's going to be a whole event. It's going to be called Stand By Me, and it's just going to be standby matches.
I like this. I like this idea. I don't know if people care about this. Like, I might be the only person upset about this, and that's fine. But I have a show where I'm allowed to give my opinion, and so I'm going to say standby matches piss me the hell off, and Tony Khan should be outed for all of these standby matches.
Outed.
I didn't want to say anything like mean, so I didn't want to say I should be fired or,
He should be outed.
Sent to the gallows, the Luke gallows.
Send him to Luke.
All right. Anything else on Dynamite? I realized that was a quick review. I apologize, everybody. I have to get my haircut in like 20 minutes.
No worries. We got shorts to do with what we accomplished, and I have my best matches for the week, so I don't know what order you want to do this in.
Okay, let's do moment of Wednesday. What was your moment of Wednesday, SP3?
My moment of Wednesday is the Rascalz siding with AEW. I'm so happy for those guys. So just genuinely just great people. And I'm just so happy for Myron Reed, especially someone who worked really hard to get a contract with TNA. Did not work out there, but he probably got a better contract with AEW. So I'm happy for all four guys who are going to be great in AEW if given the opportunity.
My moment of Wednesday was the Bryan Danielson commentary and the White Castle combo box sitting in front of him. You know, he wanted to just take that box and just chuck it and just out of sight here. Excalibur's got a plug like, hey, get the bacon brawl combo and get a lucha mask from White Castle. You know, Bryan wanted to be like, don't get this shit. Don't go to White Castle. Absolutely not. If you put this in your body, you are going to die tomorrow. Do not go to White Castle.
This would be like the Key and Peele anger translator for Barack Obama. That would be Jeremy for Bryan Danielson.
Of all the great things on Dynamite, this was the thing that stood out to me the most. Is I was just trying to imagine what Bryan Danielson was thinking as this White Castle box was in front of him, and I'm just like, I know he's so mad. I know he's like, this segment sucks. Why are we partnering with White Castle? What were your matches? What were your matches of the week, SP3?
All right, these are the matches of the week from last Thursday to now. I got 4 honorable mentions, but I can just put them in all in one because I gave them all 4 1/4 stars. I got Amakusa versus Dashamami from Noah. I got Inamura versus Kitamiya from Noah. And I got Darby Allin versus Pac from Dynamite, as well as Gunther versus Styles from Monday Night Raw. All 4 of those matches, 4 1/4 stars. Any other week, they would probably be in the top 5. But coming in at number 5 from last Friday Night SmackDown, I'm going with Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, the 3 stages of hell. By far the best match that they had in this feud. I gave that 4.5 stars. From last Saturday's CMLL in Arena Coliseum, Mystico and Espinage versus Hermanos Chavez is number 4. I gave that 4.5 stars. Great lucha, fired up crowd, and just 4 great guys who went out there, had an excellent matchup. Number 3, I'm going with Hashimoto versus Saya Aida from Sendai Girls. I gave that 4.5 stars. Hashimoto is a straight up beast, and she almost murdered Aida on a German suplex that you just have to see to believe. Great matchup between those 2 ladies. Number 2 for me, I'm going last Friday, CMLO in Arena, Mexico. Mystico versus Barbanario Cavanario for the light heavyweight championship. I gave that 4 3/4 stars. That's the benchmark for me for the best CMLO matchup that I've seen so far this year. But number 1 from last night's AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage, 4 3/4 stars to MJF versus Bandito. Excellent chemistry. MJF versus a luchador, especially one of the best wrestlers in the world that's also a luchador, like he did with Mystico last September, like he did here last night with Bandito. He is just amazing against these guys. He's like the perfect guy to sell for them, for their comebacks, to work them over, to get the heat from the crowd. The storytelling, the selling, just top notch, everything around. MJF and Bandito, the best match from the past week.
Get ready for Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree to make this list next week.
6.
C. Delgado says TNA really is Will Smith, empty house gif. I think they're going to bring in talent tonight. I think they're going to have some surprises. Now, who are they going to be? Is anybody going to care? That's a different story. But I think they're going to have some surprises for the show tonight, and they'll replenish a little bit. But it is a big loss with the Rascalz in particular. Jake Something was kind of on and off the television for them. I think they could have done more with him, but it was kind of a feature utility player for them. The Rascalz have been, whether it's the tag division or the X division, they've been very featured for years now. And then they've been very featured over the last few months. Again, Myron Reed was supposed to challenge for the title tonight. Myron Reed had an X division championship match tonight. So losing them, that's kind of a big deal. I think they're going to lose some other talent. Sean's kind of teased it a little bit. I can say they're going to lose some other talent. I don't think I'll get in trouble for this. Their talent on the show tonight that will not be on future TNA shows.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go, everybody.
Look at Jeremy with the scoop.
There you go, everybody. Oh, we'll see. But they can get the NXT talent whenever they want. I mean, which NXT talent's a different story, but that's the whole thing, is they're going to be like, well, why are we gonna, sign new wrestlers when we can use stacks for this week, like
our international champion.
That is true. He is a champion on there. He is a champion. I will give a little bit more of a teaser. The talent is not necessarily leaving for WWE, because if they were leaving for WWE, they could just be back on the show,
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily leaving for WWE. All right, there's a scoop for everybody. Maybe you can figure it out based on what happens tonight, or maybe you just gotta wait until they show up on the other programming. That's all I'm giving you, everybody. Don't say I never did anything for you. Results of our poll question. What a show today has been.
Yeah,
I feel like
jam-packed.
it's been like 5 shows in one today. Results of our poll question. Did Jeremy check his oil? 11% said it was just rain. 18% said yes. You 18% are correct. 29% said no. You 29% are wrong. And 41% says all part of the show, which I guess is kind of correct, because this is all part of the show.
This is the show. This is the show.
Yeah. All right. What did we accomplish today, SP3?
we accomplished for the first time, or probably the 7th or 8th time, doing 5 shows in one, where we talked about Nickelodeon Nicktoons. We had a great interview with Anthony Greene. Sean showed up and dropped some scoops and gave his insight on his 2 big reports about the Rascalz going to AEW and Powerhouse Hobbs possibly to WWE, or most likely to WWE. And we talked about AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage, which was a really good show that I'm going to have to review again in about 30 minutes. So great time on In the Weeds. As always, we accomplished so much.
I think the biggest thing we accomplished today is Mama Lambert made her 2026 debut on In the Weeds and revealed that she still has the tape of me being slimed when I was like 6 years old. And in the near future, I don't know fully when, but in the near future, we will play the tape for everybody.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
We will play it. We'll play it once I get it. And you know, I'm not above any of these things. SP3, let them know where they can find you at.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in less than 30 minutes now with Jimmy Macaram for AE Ramble. I just got messaged by Jimmy Macaram about 5 minutes ago, which means he just watched the show 5 minutes ago. So it's going to be a good time. He'll let us know that he... let me read the message here. What did Jimmy Macaram say to me? I sent him the Rascalz graphic last night, and he put up a gif of Steve Carell saying, "Who?" And then I said, MJF, Mandito was excellent. He said perfection. Only the second and third best performances of the night, though. Darby out of his fucking mind.
All right, so he at least like that, at the very least. The Who on the Rascalz is very funny. So, big TNA fan, Jimmy Macaram.
Jimmy Macaram is the first person that I heard is funny because he always craps on AEW, but he is the first person that said the gap between WWE and AEW is substantially smaller than the gap between TNA and AEW. He is the first person that said that on screen on YouTube.
Don't worry, the gap will be closed in with the AMC deal, and they will be number 2 by the end of the year.
That's how they're marketing it.
Yeah, exactly. Bless Jimmy. We will be back tomorrow, myself and Joel Pearl. I guess he's going to force me to talk about TNA, unfortunately. Jimmy's been on In the Weeds before. We should have him back. But yeah. Jimmy's been on In the Weeds before.
I'll talk to him today.
Okay. Myself and Joel Pearl tomorrow. Vinny Pacifico is going to join us at 10:30 talking about his new ventures and I guess old ventures as well. And again, we'll talk about TNA. I will check my oil tomorrow on the air because I've been bullied into doing that, I guess. And it is it's Friday. That means we'll do the mana, and who knows on a Friday what's going to happen. Folks, we appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for sending super chats. Thank you, everybody, for liking the video. Thank you, everybody, for your comments on the chat. Thank you, Sean, as always, showing up, dropping some scoop insight there. Thank you to MLW for letting us go through or letting us interview Anthony Greene. Thank you to Anthony Greene for joining the show and having a good time, as always. Again, thank you, everybody, for the support. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, everyone.